stronger than they've ever been. As evil descends from the skies, the world cries out, how will we survive? Out of the hall of explorers, and up from the dusty tombs, they grab their whips and fedoras. These legends of the past know exactly what to do. There might be magic monsters, mummies in the markets, and ancient mysticism. There should be scorching deserts, and nature monster of narcissism. High stakes think annihilation, obliteration of civilization. Now is the time to be brave. Evil's come to enslave, but this league's gonna save the world.
Dalaran has been heisted, and victory is ours for the League of Evil. My name is Archvillain Reform, the Supreme Archaeologist, and my staff of origination. The League of Explorers will never touch this again. My name is Frodan, and I'm joined by Brian Cabler. Welcome, everybody, to the Saviors of Uldum Invitational. If you got past the intro, congratulations. The worst part is over, and the best yet to come. My name is Frodan, as I mentioned. Cabler, how's it going?
I'm doing very well. You know, I'm ready for my team, the League of Explorers, here to be rich, because we're gonna win.
Well, my team and a lot of cups of coffee are going to take it for today. We have a lot of fun planned for you guys. Every expansion, it's a new opportunity, a new day to prove once again that evil will reign supreme. And today we're going to do just that. But before we go too much further, let's go ahead and break down what's actually going to be happening today. There is a new expansion on the horizon, Brian Kibler. And with that, an opportunity, the last chance for you guys to get your pre-order bundles. There's 50 packs, 80-pack bundles with Elise, the Starseeker, as a legendary druid skin, as well as an exclusive card back for you collection enthusiasts. So make sure to pick up your opportunity, or perhaps both if you're Brian Kibler and you like to hoard gold and actually get rich.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But today, we are going to be battling between our two teams, the League of Explorers and the League of Evil. We have 22 players from across the world who will be battling it out in 3 rounds of best-of-3 matches. They'll win 10 points per match win, with some special exceptions we'll get to. Each player has ended up with one of the classes representing that league, with the exception of Warlock, which the greedy Archvillain Rafam has kept for himself. So the players can change their decks between rounds if they so choose, but must stick with the same class throughout all 3 of their matches.
That's right. It's going to be a really fun 4-class versus 4-class, team versus team, with all of your favorite streamers on Twitch. So for you guys who are watching at home and you want to follow along the action of your favorite players and personalities, check out the Twitch directory for Hearthstone, because every one of these players today will be streaming alongside us here on the broadcast commentary desk, because we're going to be jumping around game to game, because there's much more at stake than just one individual game. We're fighting for guts, glory, and of course, some prizes as well. The winners of this will be able to get some prizes. We'll go ahead and show you guys who is going to be competing today first. From North America, we have Kripp, the Hearthstone superstar, Ali Straza and Slissa from Fates of Karma, and Trump, the mayor of Value Town. Over in Europe, we have Pathra, RDU, BoarControl, and Orange. Does this look familiar, Kibler?
Collection of grandmasters over there.
Whew.
And moving along, we have, like we said, players from all across the world. Latin America, represented by Snail, Nightmare, Tio Yarston, Tesdey. And from Turkey, there is Fujitora, and from the Middle East, there is Gunner.
That's right, we're not done there yet. We're heading over to Asia. We have from SEA and Korea, Sequinox, Lambyseries, Sonagi, and Surrender. You may have seen some of these players in the Hearthstone Championship Tour throughout Hearthstone Grandmasters, or maybe you just saw their fun streams and memes.
Yep. And Surrender, even the winner of the APAC first season of Grandmasters, but also from Japan, Aojiri Yuko, and from Russia, Plagiat and Tomatos.
That's right. So it's going to be 8 regions represented, truly a global effort for us to take down all that is within the League of Explorers. And as we mentioned, 10 matches, or 10 points per match of the 11 matches, and whoever wins the best of 3 for the entire day will be able to win some prizes. Some of them include Corsair gear, some of them include Elgato streaming equipment, because some of them are streamers, or in fact, all of them are streaming today. But of course, the most important thing, Hearthstone Hearthstone swag, Brian Kibler.
Yeah, I mean, with this, headset, mouse, keyboard, stream deck, blanket, pillow, water bottle, they're just all ready to camp out in their streaming room and just get to playing nonstop when the expansion releases tomorrow.
That's right, so that they can marathon. I know a lot of people will be streaming. You will be streaming. I will be watching and playing alongside you guys. And it'll be a really fun time. Hearthstone has gone through so many expansions, and this one seems to be one of the most exciting and one of the most powerful. I mean, a lot of people are hyping it up as one of the most impactful expansions yet to hit, the tavern. And I'm really excited to see what we got for today. So let's go ahead, and without further ado, meet our glorious players. So for the League of E.V.I.L, we have Kripparian, Slissa, Sequinox, Pathra, Sonagi, Fujitora, BoarControl, Algiru, Plegiat, Tio Yarston, and Snail Arg.
And competing for the League of Explorers, you see on the right, Trump, Nightmare, Orange, Lambyseries, RDU, Ali Straza, Tesdey, Surrender, Tomatos, Gunner, and Yuko.
That's right. And as Kibler mentioned at the beginning of the show, the players aren't locked in forever into their classes or even their decks, right? They can change the cards, they can change decks.
Well, their classes are locked in. We see this is the class that each of them will be playing throughout the event. So, for instance, every round, Ali Straza will be playing Mage, as we saw in that graphic there. But what version of Mage she chooses to play is up to her every single round. Maybe round 1 she plays Reno Mage. Maybe round 2 that doesn't work out. Unlikely, since Reno Mage is clearly the best possible deck you could build. But if she decides she wants to go crazy, she can switch things up. There is one restriction. Players must include at least 10 Saviors of Uldum cards in any deck that they end up bringing to any of the rounds.
That's right. Well, that's the only rule that I encourage you to follow. We are the League of E.V.I.L. We're allowed to change rules. Not really. But in the theme of the expansion, of course, Saviors of Uldum will be on display throughout the entire broadcast, and we're going to be checking in round to round. Now, before we begin, we also have some formalities, a duel between Kibler and I. We have a Choose Your Champion challenge for the casters. So before each match, we will choose a player, and that player's, if they win their match, is worth double points. So instead of 10, it'll be worth 20. So without further ado, Kibler, I guess, should we just choose
Well,
our
I think we need
champion?
to see the first round matchups before we end up choosing.
I think we briefly
Are we
saw
doing it
it
before?
in
Oh, we
the
did.
graphic.
We did, you're right.
But I already know my first pick.
All right. Well, I got the staff here. It's kind of heavy. I gotta put it down if I can write anything.
Hat staff is actually
This
really
is no
heavy.
joke. Like,
it could
this is a
bludgeon.
workout. Yeah, like I could hurt myself.
Okay.
It's no wand cannon, but it's still pretty sweet.
Yes, well, they said that they left it back in Irvine. My first pick as my champion is pretty straightforward. We have one mega superstar that we super maxed. It's Mr. Kripparian, the Hearthstone superstar himself. How can you go up against Kripp? He knows his evil ways. He is really devious.
All right, well, in order to, to really keep the hype going for our very first match, or get the hype going for our very first match, we'll just go with Kripp's opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, the most purest and innocent of souls, ready to be broken.
He's ready to put on a 5-star performance in this round, and hopefully we'll not go back and review that to find it was not correct.
Trump reviews, Kibler reviews is Choose a Champion.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the first hype match, and of course, like we mentioned, go ahead and watch the streamers battle themselves, because I believe we'll be playing one game on this broadcast and then switching over throughout the series. If you want to see the conclusion of it, make sure to watch your favorite channels. Or you know what? Just watch all of the channels. Pull up the multi-Twitch, pull up whatever ways you squad stream, etc., and follow on all your favorite channels.
Yeah, all these players are going to be bringing you all kinds of action with all new decks, right? This is the first time we've seen Saviors of Uldum in any kind of competitive environment. So we got a chance to see, quest versions of all these decks. Unfortunately, no plot twist Warlock, but that's clearly too powerful to allow anyone to bring to this tournament.
That's right. They gave us a stack of these card backs to indicate that Rafam has stolen all of the Warlock cards for this Invitational. That's right, I only get to play Warlock and no one else. But we have 4 classes on both sides. Kibler, I do want to ask, what are some of the most exciting cards from your perspective, outside, of course, Reno Jax and the man you were cosplaying?
At the risk of betraying the League of Explorers, some of the cards that I am most excited about, like I said, the quest, Supreme Archaeology, the Warlock quest, I think is super fun with plot twist and everything. The Priest quest looks like it's a lot of fun.
Awaken the Obelisk.
Yeah, overall, I think the quest in general it seems super exciting. The Shaman quest seems super. I'm just literally naming every League of E.V.I.L quest. I'm like, that one's good.
You sure you?
What am I doing? doing to
want to
myself?
switch these roles here, Kibler? I know you always fight for the forces of good, so it's kind of hard. Of course, you also spent a lot of time growing that mustache in anticipation for this event. Because for a while, I was following your Instagram stories, and I was thinking, man, Kibler is just... He's kind of getting to the. He's let himself go. I'm like, man, he's been streaming for a while. He's been kind of going to events. I'm like, is he just not really trying anymore? And it's
Dedication to a meme, okay? Dedication.
Got me in the first half, not gonna lie. I think it turned out really well. I think the best part is a lot of people are like, wow, that's a really nice fake mustache. And then you immediately replied on Twitter a selfie of him growing it out throughout the days and weeks.
Didn't quite get long enough to like wax it and like curl it up at the edges like Reno does have, but maybe next time.
Yes. Well, I've been working on this for a solid 2 weeks, and I gave up. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, as mentioned, we're going to get into the thing momentarily here. For people who are just tuning in, kind of shuffling in at the last second, we're going to be playing best of threes throughout 4 classes versus 4 classes. We're ready to get in for our first match. Let's get the Saviors of Uldum Invitational underway.
Here we have our very first match. Kripp from the League of E.V.I.L against Trump from the League of Explorers. Kripp playing Rogue, Trump playing Hunter. And these two were teammates last time we saw them here for the Dalaran Heist.
That's right.
They were Team Value Town, and they came very, very close to victory there. But now they must go up against one another as foes.
That's right. Hunter versus the Rogue. Rogue getting a lot of interesting tools. I think one of the things that people were mainly focused on was Quest Rogue going to come back? And then after the theory crafting streams, and I saw Rogue play out a little bit, it felt like it wasn't really the case. But I do know Kripp is one of the most creative deck builders that likes to go against the metagame. So is he going to be able to discover something, you think?
I think that there are a couple of really interesting builds of Rogue that are possible with Saviors of Uldum. The quest itself, I think, is very interesting for the Thief-style Rogue deck. Also, the Death Rattle Rogue tools. Anka the Buried is kind of outrageous. I was playing as Dog during the theory crafting stream, and he played like Anka the Buried on like turn 4 with the coin, and then next turn played Octosari, and just like reload, and a bunch of like mechanical whelps and such. It's like, oh, that's a pretty good 1/1 for 1 that you have there.
Yeah, Rogue is very exciting. It's a very powerful class already. Over in Hunterland, I'm excited to see if Trump can utilize perhaps Unleash the Vault, the Hunter quest that if you play 20 minions, you get +2 attack as your hero power. Everyone's kind of questioning whether that's good, or maybe just Dino Tamer Bran as playing a Reno Hunter deck or a Bran Hunter deck. If you have no duplicates, Summon King Crush. I want to see big combos. I want to see big discounts, or maybe I just want to see Hunter do Hunter things.
All right, well, we're getting into the first game here. We are seeing Kripp's point of view, and he is playing the quest.
Yes.
And we see he's kind enough to have a deck tracker up so you can see what's in his deck.
That's really good. And Bizarre Burglary, the quest reward is Ancient Blades, which allows your hero power to transform into a 3/2 weapon every time you use it, but you are immune when you are attacking. So it removes the rogue's use for its health as a resource and allows it to gain a lot of tempo.
Yeah, one of the big things about playing any kind of rogue deck that isn't like very, very tempo oriented is that you take a lot of damage. You're playing a class that doesn't really have taunts, doesn't really have healing. So using your weapon for removal can really tax your life total, tax your health.
That's right.
Being able to get a weapon that gives you immune while attacking makes that so when you're playing against aggressive decks, you just attack into their guy and you kill it. Ooh, a little bit of a tip. In case you didn't know, Kripp, you are going second, so you get the coin.
Yes. Kripp's so thoughtful of using the tutorial to help everyone learn Hearthstone for the first time. If Trump going to start things off with tracking, he is on the play, as we like to say for people going first, but he's going to use his first turn to draw a card, and of course, it is a mystery to us, but if you do not want it to be a mystery and you want the spoilers to be out, go ahead, check him out, twitch.tv/TrumpSC.
Yeah, and interestingly, I like the looks of Kripp's deck. He is playing sort of a thief/pirate rogue, and I really like this. One of the cards we see in his hand right now, the Sanket Sapper, was something that as I was doing my review, like sort of, I hadn't really seen that card, given it much thought before, and then I was like, actually, this with Captain Hooktusk. It has Death Rattle, return a minion to your opponent's hand. Say your opponent has a board full of stuff, you Hooktusk, just put a Sapper into play, it attacks into something, dies, bounces something else. It's just like a lot it can do.
I love this play thematically. Evil Miscreant. I am Rafam, the leader of the League of Evil. Coin Evil Miscreant is an iconic play to the rogue class, adding lackeys. Now, we do have more lackeys in the pool, Most notably, of course, the lackey that is able to give a minion health instead of perhaps Goblin Lackey that adds attack. We'll see if any of those lackeys come to play this game, but for now, Kripp using very nice tempo tools, but here's a new secret from Saviors of Uldum.
Yeah, the pressure plate does go off here.
Hyena card.
Which destroys a random enemy minion after you play a spell, so the Evil Miscreant can't get an attack, but that's okay, it's only a 1/4 minion, still not snowballing, and more importantly, we'll find out if Kripp can get his quest online, because people thought that getting 4 random cards from a different class was fairly easy, but it's actually a little trickier for Rogue. And, you know, is it going to even matter if Rogue falls too far behind on tempo and needs to spend the entire game getting back on the board?
Yeah, but thinking about what we've seen from Trump so far, you know, we saw tracking, we saw secret, we now see this Sunriver Spy. You know, he could be going in a heavy secret style of deck. There's Tundra, or rather Hyena Alpha, which is the new 4-mana 7/7. You know, it's a 3/3 that makes 2/2s if you have a secret in play. It could also be a singleton deck. It could be a Reno deck / Brand deck that, you know, goes in that direction.
Would love to see it. Sanket Sapper, excuse me. Snipe, which lines up very nicely with the return. And there you go. A 4-mana sap. Was it worth it, you think, Brian Kibler?
I mean, it's, you know, he could have played, say, the Pharaoh Cat or Lackey into it, thinking of what the secret might be, but it's the only secret that really gets punished there. It does get the 3/4 back in the hand, and, you know, gets the secret out of the way, so not necessarily an enabler for it.
Perhaps, yeah. And then maybe he can use Hench Clan Burglar on the following turn, but this is very annoying for Kripp to have to deal with.
Okay,
More secrets, more mysteries. Vendetta, a powerful pickup. Once you obtain a card from a different class, Vendetta becomes 0 cost, and then you can hit a minion for free for 4 damage and be able to eliminate anything, basically.
All right, well, Trump has gotten yet another secret triggered. We've only seen one of each of these secrets so far. Still very easily could be a Brand deck. Ooh, that's some value for you.
Yes, that is a weaponized Pinata. Add a random legendary minion to your hand upon death.
Righteousness, new classic card from.
That's new card, but perhaps not what you're thinking of. Righteousness was introduced with a patch during Rise of Shadows.
This could be Rat Trap. That's the 3rd spell of the turn.
Yep, you are correct.
It is Rat Trap. So.
Good call, Brian Gilbert.
The rat.
The rat. Kripp, never lucky.
Never lucky, although the process of elimination does tend to isolate things like Rat Trap fairly late after you played a few cards.
Dropping my opponent's
He's attacked the face. He's played a few cards. We still haven't seen any duplicates, though.
Right. So far, still a decent chance that Trump is playing Singleton. Could get a Brand Dino Tamer out there.
Ooh, a Chameleos. He can identify cards in Trump's hand.
That advanced the quest too, because
it does.
Had a card from another class's hand.
Oh, that's right. The weaponized Pinata works really well.
Okay, so there's the second Sunriver Spy. So this is a secret hunter deck. So definitely not going to be a Brand out there. Ooh, Hyena Alpha.
Yes.
We know that's in the hand.
Yes, Hyena Alpha. If you control a secret, summon 2 2/2 minions. It's a very good opportunity for you to get on the board. Oftentimes people criticize secret decks as being a little bit behind on tempo.
And he's stolen the secret. So he gets to play. Look at me. I'm the hunter now.
That's what people love about Rogue. That's what specifically Brian Kibler loves about Thief Rogue.
And, you know, Trump doesn't know what this secret is, right? He has no idea, because this secret was the discovered spell, I believe, off of the Burglar.
Perhaps he has an inkling of idea. The weaponized Pinata attacked into the Rat Trap, and that's it. It's at 2 health, a little bit convenient. And with that attack, wait.
So he is playing, okay. Interesting.
No duplicates, and Brandon summoned King Crush.
So he has 2 Sunriver Spies as his duplicates? Is that what's going on?
No, it was returned to the hand.
Oh, you're totally right.
It was returned to the hand.
I'm a fool.
Yeah.
I'm a fool. That was bounced, yeah.
And, you know, normally the deck tracker would show your opponent's cards. That's why we would be able to follow along, so it's a little bit of a mix-up there. But I love the theme, and, of course, a Dino Tamer Brand summoning King Crush. Everyone was thinking about combo potential with it, but sometimes it's just a great tempo tool.
Yeah. All right, yeah, we are seeing Trump recognizing, okay, I'm going to trade with this, and then...
Can't miss that 8 damage. Dino to the face.
Hail to the king.
I mean, that's a lot of statistics on the board here, Kibler.
Yeah, I mean, the power level of Brand Dino Tamer getting the King Crush out is pretty huge.
Yeah, people don't doubt the power level of the card. They doubt the deck's consistency, and you know, if you get it on curve, turns out it's pretty consistent. Oh, Colossus of the Moon, the new legendary card from Saviors of Uldum.
I think we're going to take a look at Trump's perspective now. We're going to go on and see, here is what it looks like from his side of the board. Much more colorful. And, you know, the King Crush getting his beat down on, and we see that is the Wind Tamer in the hand. Battlecry, copy a random beast in your hand.
Yes.
So you could get a second Hyena Alpha.
Yeah, he has no secrets. That's a little bit of the awkward scenario of secret decks. Sometimes you have really good tools to even get the tempo, but then sometimes you need to line up the secrets with the proper cards in your deck. I think a lot of people who've played Secret Mage have experienced this plight over the years. And we do know that Kripp does have Nightmare Amalgam plus some combo cards with it. In this case, the Goblin Lackey going to fight.
But nothing's taking down the King just yet. Gonna get another attack in, though there is 7 damage on board plus the dagger, so 8 available for Kripp next turn. Plus, he's going to 8 mana crystals.
Oh, his secret gets pulled.
Ooh, that's pretty big. But the 8 mana crystals for Kripp does mean that the Captain Hook Tusk we saw in his hand is going to be online next turn.
Correct. So does Trump choose to play for the race, or does he try to control the state of the board?
I think you just got to get him.
I mean,
this is King Crush.
This is half his life.
Yeah. That is. Whoa. Talking about Trump trades.
I mean, he went face last turn.
It's true. It's true.
And he had the opportunity to trade. And he is presenting a lethal board if he attacks his opponent. If he chooses to trade into the minion, he will not have damage even if all of his minions survive. And Trump's really thinking about it.
He is. No.
He knows where to go.
Good
That's
play,
right.
Smork.
If this was Kripp versus Trump in 2014, I 100% would have predicted him to trade.
Yeah.
Because Trump was a mayor of value. Of course, not to knock on his play. Everyone traded back then. And it was one of the players like Fireback showing us that going face was oftentimes the correct play, which led to his 2014 championship.
So Kripp has that Snip Snap in hand, and that Amalgam is a mech.
Correct.
So does that actually leave him with lethal damage?
See, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 7 plus 9.
No, it's 1 short, I believe, because he has 8 mana crystals.
Oh, he has 8 mana crystals. If he had 9 crystals, he'd be able to magnetize 3 times.
Because Trump went first.
Correct.
Imagine not completing the quest, Lil.
Unless there is some way that he can cheat mana that we're not expecting, but that shouldn't be possible.
All right, well, Kripp tests the secret, finds it is snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
I mean, is Kripp now just dead because of that attack on the King Crush?
There's Hook Tusk, though.
What comes out of the deck?
The Sankat Snapper we were talking about.
Yes, but there's so many cheap minions that he doesn't want to return.
He's got a lot of board clear, though.
And there is a quest in play.
So, he can, because the Sankat Zapper, well, it doesn't die, actually. There's no way, he can trade into, the smaller things, actually kill King Crush. I would think that okay. Ends up sapping one of the snakes. Yep, clears off the board just about. Freezing Trap, okay.
So you can copy another snake.
Yeah.
He has the Freezing Trap.
Wild Tamer the Snake. Boom, snake.
I mean, it fills out the curve.
It does, and he's able to isolate the Captain Hook Tusk.
Ooh.
The funny thing is, I think this actually leaves Trump. Yeah, the extra snake does actually matter, because even if he kills the 4/3, that means he has lethal with the hero power.
Exactly. And the Freezing Trap works well against the Captain Hook Tusk because, well, I believe she can't come out.
Kripp could pay 10 mana for it once he gets to that point, but we saw there were no more pirates in his deck.
That's right. The Rush here.
I love the Mugger. The Bizarre Mugger, I think, is a super, super sweet card.
Yeah. You think people were saying that they didn't feel it was that good.
I've played a lot of Thief Rogue, right? And one of the things that Thief Rogue often wants, especially in a world where you have a lot more room because you're not playing a Spectral Cutlass package, is the ability to immediately impact the board, and the fact that it gives you a minion from another class means that you have great ways to turn on. Yeah, look at this. Death by snakes. The extra snake was the lethal. It really was. The copied snake actually exactly set up lethal thanks to that attack. That was beautiful.
That was
my champion. We need to spam some Trumpian emotes in the chat right now.
We're good on that.
No, we're not. We're not.
I'm a little bit salty about it, but it's okay because that's just one match happening out of 11. Let's hop into another game. We have Sonagi versus RDU. Sonagi from Korea, RDU from Romania. It's a priest versus mage. Now, mage has a lot of powerful tools. Still from the previous, but puzzle box of Yogg-Saron.
Oh, I like this deck from RDU here.
They cost 5 each.
So we see the deck on the side of the screen. He's playing a King Feoris Tortolan Pilgrim Puzzle Box Pyroblast deck. So
Yes.
this deck is planning on just powering out these big spells. He also has Naga Sandwich. So he's able to make all those spells cost 5.
Right. People who might be confused, why does a 10-mana spell cost 5? It's because the Naga Sandwich, which puts all of your spells to 5 cost. But is he going to die before then?
Oh no. As we hear YOLO.
Okay.
Let's see some Yoglos in the chat. All right, Worthy Expedition.
Yep.
Psych Melon. Ooh, he gets.
Wait, doesn't do anything?
Wait, why did Psych Melon not work?
Yeah, Psych Melon should
Should have
draw
got,
like Alexstrasza.
Should have gotten a Tortolan Pilgrim Alexstrasza.
That card is actually insane in this deck.
Yeah. Charge. Okay. Holy Ripple.
Which
Ooh.
helps. Oh no, but he's destroying. Oh, okay. I was thinking that maybe he destroyed his own minion with Dark Possession.
It was incredibly trashy.
So I believe he's also out of full hand.
Yeah, he's gonna overdraw here. He did get Grand Mummy and High Priest. What is it?
The call.
No, Amonkhet.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Is that? It's Amet.
You're right.
Tournament life.
All right. Well, Sonagi does, I believe, have the quest over there too. Or no, is he a? Oh, never mind.
Yes.
The retro
This
reclaimer.
guy's going.
Now, this is a combo that I think we might be seeing
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Serpent Egg to be able to summon a 3/4. People remember Nerubian Egg or Devilsaur Egg. Very good tempo opportunity. And it's funny that Priest of all classes can utilize it, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. It's basically the equivalent of New Devilsaur Egg, new Nerubian Egg into what was the name of that card? The 3/3
Terror Scale.
Yeah, Terror Scale Stalker.
Terror
Terror
Scale
Scale
Stalker.
Stalker.
Yes.
Egg Priest. I like it. I already like what Sonagi's doing over there.
Right.
But I like what RDU's doing more because he is in the League of Explorers.
I think we want to buy some time.
All right. Well, Frost Nova is stalled for a little bit of time. Very expensive Frost Nova. But, Desperate Time calls for Desperate Measures, which is not something that you expect. Priest is a class that traditionally likes to heal and take things slow. And yet people were theorizing the tempo Priest being able to develop big onto the board. And Sonagi's drawing more cards because this Northshire Cleric has not been dealt with. Or do you kind of
I started being afraid.
painfully smirking, awaiting his fate? But at the same time, what's at the top end of this Priest deck? There's a lot of really sick cards that I'm looking for. I'm waiting to see what Sonagi
How
has.
about this Ahmet Loti?
Shadowy Figure, okay.
I love Shadowy Figure. Oh, this deck from Sonagi is really cool. I like it a lot. Egg, Grand Mummy.
That's right.
Shadowy Figure, yeah. Ooh.
A 1-mana Alexstrasza, the Pocket Galaxy in full. That is why I didn't draw with the Psych Melon, because
Oh, right, everything
the
costs
Pocket
1.
Galaxy
Oh, right.
made everything
Yep,
cost 1, so
I
it doesn't
totally,
draw
Yeah, I totally missed
based
that.
off its mana cost. I mean,
Right,
these are new
right.
these are interactions that we don't see fairly often, but
Right.
because of Puzzle of Yogg-Saron, it allows us to see these really funny things.
Alex
Yeah, I never really considered that, but okay,
Right.
that's why it didn't work.
Yeah, it's like, when do we ever see that in the past? It's like, well, Mage usually plays random Mage spells, but playing other different spells was part of the charm of Puzzle Box of Yogg-Saron.
Right, so yeah, you get Alexstrasza the face.
I mean, 1-mana 8/8 sounds good.
And then there's 6, 7, 8, 9.
I mean, he
10 on
has lethal, right? Puzzle Box of Yogg-Saron just does 19 damage.
Found lethal.
Wardruid Loti, an old card from Roscon's Rumble that allows you to transform
Oh,
into
he
4
could
different
have
things.
played the High Priest into that and had a 4/7 rush.
Oh, you're right.
And then trade the Grand Mummy to get a 1/7 when it dies.
Yeah, these are interactions, again, you have to kind of be mindful of, but it's very hard to spot, especially when it's a new expansion.
Right. Yeah. All these players, are playing this for essentially the first time.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gonna go with Taunt. It looks like.
I think so. I think he's
Actually,
afraid
play it
of his
down first,
death.
if we could get them back.
This is a new mechanic, by the way, from Saviors of Uldum and Reborn from the Grand Mummy, which is a minion comes back with 1 health remaining, fairly similar to
Hopefully he doesn't.
the Redemption, excuse me.
Oh yeah.
From the Paladin Secret Arsenal. And it's really powerful with Death Rattle in particular because you get the double dip. Ooh, Siamat coming to the board. What is he going to choose? Looks like he gets Divine Shield and Rush to get past his
Not
1/6.
kill Alex, right?
Doesn't have quite enough damage to kill the 1/6 and the Alexstrasza though. He needs something else. Okay, extra arms. There you go. That's gonna do it.
Yes, extra arms should allow him to trade through.
Well, now
And even keep the North. Oh, the Northshire Cleric should go down actually, because the Grand Mummy stays alive.
I mean, depends what I draw.
Didn't want to kill the Grand Mummy.
Okay.
Flame Strike is the draw.
Does this change my play?
Is that what he needed?
I can leave him only with Siamat. No, I think we box. Box.
He's
first.
hovering over the puzzle box. I heard him say, I think we do this.
Kill egg
Yeah, you want
first,
to kill that
right?
first. Yeah.
Yeah, if, in case you get area of effect spells, you want to maximize your percentage chance.
All right. What's in the box?
10
Love
spells.
it. Darkest Hour.
Destroy all friendly minions, summon
All right.
a minion from your
Rain
deck.
of Toads.
Good.
He's just building a big
Cleave.
board.
Come on, that's a good box.
Thought Steal.
Draw more cards.
Frost Shock. Okay.
Siamat. Nice.
Wow, throws the 8/8.
We're going in.
Earthquake.
Oh, wait. I didn't think he wanted to
Well,
keep
there-
his board.
I mean, he cleared the board.
Okay,
Not sure about that.
so it was a 5-minute clear the entire board and gives him development opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he gets to play the High Priest Ahmet here.
Yes, this is a priest card, I believe. Which, if you play a minion, you summon it with
But the
attack
board was
equal
way
to its
better in my
health.
favor.
So this has gotten people to theorize about some really big combos that you can play.
Speaking of combos with it, Sonagi's got his own, and now that is not an easy board to get rid of.
Oh, 1/7, 1/7.
Too much.
You know, that Flame Strike, normally really good when your opponent has a bunch of small minions.
Tortolum
All
Pilgrim.
right.
Put him into a freeze, right?
But there's no more boxes. There's
He
a
has
Pyroblast.
Blizzards.
Yes.
Blizzards,
you're right.
I think, are things he's totally happy with.
Yes, that's true. Blizzard,
Yep.
Frost Nova even. That deck tracker
I wonder
is
if
so
you,
clutch.
I wonder if you would rather Frost Nova to not give the card draw possible opportunities.
That's right. Unless he's willing to throw in Fireball, which seems very costly.
Ooh. I want
Mystery
mystery
choice.
choice. Mystery choice.
Yes.
It could be anything. It could be a counterspell.
Played?
Yeah, I don't think he wants a second Pocket Galaxy. The splitting image isn't exactly pertinent to the situation, given that his opponent's minions can't attack. Yeah, this is.
he knows that there's a more arms in hand, which
Right.
does mean that the counterspell is not necessarily.
So the Volpera Scoundrel, if you get Mystery Choice, is it just completely random spell?
It's a spell from your class still.
From a class,
Yeah,
okay.
it is from your class still.
Just don't die.
Well, we're gonna start with Sonagi trying to draw a card, not healing himself. He's looking for options.
This deck is good, but it's not easy to play. You need to time the puzzle box.
Snip Snap. This looks like a
7
desperation.
snip snap though.
It does look kind of like a desperation to develop tempo, though.
And each of
Hopefully
the microbots is a 1/7 microbot.
But Kibler, he's just developing on the board.
Find another puzzle.
RDU has
I
damage
mean,
in the hand.
I'm not saying that it's gonna work out here because he's clearly getting Pyroblast in the face, but it's cool.
It is cool, and the mage takes the victory, but RDU is only tying the series at 1 game apiece. It's a best of 3, so a lot more Hearthstone to be played around the tavern. So for the best of 3s, and then people who are tuning in late to this broadcast, they win 10 points for their team, and with 11 matches, we'll find which team gets the better of this, the 10-point lead. But Kilber did bet on Trump, and I did bet on Kripp, and the winner of these bets will get an additional 2 times point multiplier. So we'll see how Kripp and Trump are doing at the end of their series.
Yeah, and we have 11 players on each of these teams, so there's always going to be an odd breakdown. So someone's always in the lead. There's no ties at the end of any of these rounds. But it also just means we have a lot more matches to move over to watch, and we're gonna run over to one of those right now.
Okay, so let's check in on another match. And again, if you guys want to follow the conclusion of the series that we're watching, just tune into their streams. Go to the twitch.tv Hearthstone directory and find out what they're doing. Now let's go to Shaman versus Hunter. We saw the Singleton, the Highlander, the Reno, whatever variation you want to call it. I believe internally we've been calling it Reno decks. So the Reno Hunter's been popular. What does BoarControl bring to the table with his Shaman? We see the Quest already in the hand.
Yeah, and the Shaman Quest is a card that got a lot of attention during the theory crafting streams, and I think a lot of people think is possibly one of, if not the best cards in the set.
Yes.
Really powerful interactions just give you an incredibly strong long game plan.
Yes, Corrupt the Waters, the quest. The reward is that all your battle cries, your battle cry triggers twice.
Yeah, your hero power changes into, what is it, Heart of E.V.I.L.
Yes.
E.V.I.L.
We're still getting the pronunciations
Exactly,
down.
Heart of E.V.I.L., which makes your hero power into pay 2, your battle cries trigger twice this turn. And there are so many cards that feed into that. All of the lackey generators, the sludge slurpers, the cable rats, they are battle cry minions that give you battle cry minions, so they just essentially multiply advance your quest once you're actually able to play through them. So 6 battle cry minions is actually not that difficult, and then obviously you have lots more left over in your deck to keep taking advantage of.
Right, and what's insanity is that people in Shaman are used to perhaps like your next battle cry triggers, but it's just your battle cries period trigger twice for the turn. So a lot of people are looking to Shaman as quite possibly being one of the most powerful mid-range decks in this expansion. But can the Hunter perhaps be aggressive enough? I'm not sure. It looks like it started off pretty slow so far.
Yeah, we didn't see the first games of this match, so we don't know what kind of Hunter deck that Tesdey is playing. We do see that he has played Seeker Keeper Hunter's Pack. That could be a secret deck. It could be a sort of Reno brand style deck as well.
Yeah.
My guess that it's likely a Reno brand deck.
He might not have high enough.
I mean, it looked pretty sweet to me. It felt like it had a good opportunity to be aggressive early if you get tempo tools, but you also have the opportunity to play a little bit slow and curve out. And we have seen that Tesdey has won a game. So, it's not as dominantly one-sided for Shaman as we may have thought.
All right, Desert Spear from the Hunter's Pack. Ooh, that's actually very good.
I like this card a lot, but does he have anything else?
It's not quite enough here, but that card is pretty sweet. It enables a lot of the various synergies that Hunter has in terms of getting value from beasts.
Speaking of synergy enabling, questing Explorer, a battle cry that draws a card if you have a quest, which incidentally, Corrupt the Waters is a battle cry quest. So it tends to work really well and create that feedback loop.
Mogu Flesh Shaper. Do we go face? I'm just gonna. We know it's not.
Okay. Looks like BoarControl just thinking about, getting the board control very slowly. Mogu Flesh Shaper, a card that has Rush. I believe it's a 3/4, and it costs 1 less for each minion on the board. Very similar to kind of the Rabble Battle Rounds or Sea Giant discounts that you guys see in the past.
Yeah, I think that card is pretty interesting. Obviously, if you're playing in a sort of board control style matchup, being able to rush out something. Rush out something to help clear off some of your opponent's minions. Also, I think it's the sort of card that can be very good with mutate, evolve effects.
Oh, I like
you play it, kill something, and then immediately evolve it, so you get an 8-drop having already cleared something off the board.
I like your thinking. And it seems like that could be something that people explore in the future. Shaman has a lot of great tempo tools, and even just finishing tools too. You see that BoarControl has ways to build that board, but he doesn't have the finishers that we usually see with it, such as Bloodlust. Even though he has a lot of ways to build that intimidating big board. Former champ, we like to kind of joke that it was Firebat's card. The second card Firebat got.
I think we know what the secrets are.
Oh, that's true, yeah. The voice.
Rat, snake, and pressure plate. Okay. And the
so how does Tesdey fight back onto the board? Because right now he's just losing an incremental battle here.
He's kind of behind on every axis right now, right? Like he's behind in life, he's behind in terms of long-term value thanks to the quest progress from BoarControl.
Yep. I mean, he's got locusts, but he's ran out of durability. Swarm of locusts, 7 of them coming to the board.
Okay, he has even more locusts.
Yeah, but he has 3 secrets as well, which is quite surprising that BoarControl hasn't triggered any of them. But as you can see in the top left, thanks to Aegis Replay, we've eliminated the process to, Pressure Trap, Rat Trap, and Snake Trap. Exactly. There's 3 secrets, there's 3 possibilities. You only can have 1 secret of each on the board at a time. Therefore, BoarControl says, I don't want to play a spell, I don't want to attack his minions, I don't want to play 3 cards.
Right. And I mean, that's kind of worked out with what he wants to do. It's like just attack in the face.
See the secrets here. Deck Track is saving us.
Okay, Lick 'em, a card that deals damage, deals 3 damage if you have an overloaded crystal. BoarControl has probably the thinking, how do I try and pressure my opponent out of the game? Because if I try to attack onto his board, I'm playing into his game plan. So perhaps, instead of worrying about how to diffuse all the secrets, I'm just gonna go aggressive and go face. I mean, he even has an opportunity to use this Volpera Scrap Hound, and maybe, or Scoundrel, excuse me, not Scrap Hound, and maybe see some fireworks happen. But for now, I think he's just gonna develop his tools. finish the quest.
Quest is done. Gonna go for the quest plus these guys next
And
turn.
now his hero power has transformed into that heart, which makes his battle cries trigger twice, which is even scarier if you really think about it, with some of the things like Face's Lackey to help him refill the board. Because the one thing that his deck does seem to lack is card draw. So if he gets exhausted of his resources, he might fall too far behind.
It does have a lot of card generation, though. You see, in addition to the Sludge Slurpers and Evil Cable Rats, he even has Evil Totems to give him more lackeys. Those obviously work very well with the quest. Ooh, Shutterwalk is a big draw.
Yeah, can't get it out yet. But the double battle cry on the Scoundrel. Discover a spell or a mystery card
Mystery Box.
twice.
Take it. Mystery
I
Box.
think it is, because all these other targets.
Wind Fury's not
Mystery
bad.
choice, let's go.
Yeah, Windfury's
All right.
not bad on the 3/3, I guess.
It could be anything.
Mutate.
Ooh, that's actually really good with the Mogu Flesh Shaper, as I was saying before.
And he does have that opportunity to get that Wind Fury, or even just Lightning Bolt for 3 damage, which feels comparable with the questing Explorer.
We have to watch out for proccing matchup though. I think it's just Bolt, right?
The thing is, he knows that Pressure Plate is
I wanna
still
play
an
Battle
option, so he has to be mindful of it.
Right, and with Rat Trap as well, so he doesn't want to play a spell, he doesn't want to play 3 cards.
Yep.
The fact that he is able to use some of his
You might
mana
think,
on
play
the,
this and
the hero
mutate.
power.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what you're saying. The Mogu Flesh Shaper should go down if he didn't know that Rat Trap was a possibility, but he's very aware of it.
Yeah, he knows there's Rat Trap, he knows there's Pressure Plate. So playing the Flesh Shaper will just trigger the Rat Trap, and if he mutates, that triggers Pressure Plate. Maybe he loses his minion that he just mutated into anyway.
And there you go. Grandmaster showing you how to do it to play around the Hunter's secrets.
Mutate's gonna proc Pressure Plate. So we want.
And now Tesdey, how does he respond? Mark shot to start things off, looking for Unleash the Hounds or other ways to respond to the board because
Try and set that up.
he's probably got some pretty big combos waiting to hand, but he might not have the life total or the time to be able to pull that off here.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a.
needs a lot of help here
It's
for
gonna be. I could
Tesdey.
just coin the walk for 2 5/5s. Hero power coin walk.
All right, so yeah, looks like he is digging. He has Eaglehorn Bow. Okay, that
Never
is
push
a
the button.
reasonable option here. He can pick apart some of the board at least, but is still in a tough spot. Only 10 health left.
I need to coin the walk, guys.
He could just trade. Well, I guess he can't trade into the snake trap necessarily, but he could attack face, coin, triggers Pressure
And
Plate,
one-off
plays
these
Shutterwalk if he wants to.
This is all incoming.
Well, what battle cries have been played so far? We've had Questing Explorer, Sludge
just gonna go
Slurper,
for
Evil
force.
Cable Rat, Former Champ. Things that build the board and not necessarily
gonna call it
answer
Shutterwalk.
them.
I'm just gonna coin the Shutterwalk.
Although he could go to the point where he says, you know what, I've built up so much pressure, maybe I don't mind just playing more things onto the board and forcing my opponent to react to it. The life total here is also tricky for the Hunter because I don't feel very comfortable as Tesdey to use my weapon to attack a minion,
Pressure Plate.
because then I'd be helping my opponent kill me. Pressure Plate only eliminating a 1/1 minion, excellently done.
We get 2 former champs.
Wow, that's starting to build up a lot of stats here.
Do I want to proc?
Goblin Lackey, give him the rush. Perhaps does not want to trade into the 6/3 because of the threat of Snake Trap.
Yeah, just wants to leave that up.
I could proc the Snake Trap.
It also ends up giving him,
Trade it and mutate.
would end up giving him additional charge in the weapon. Not that that's really the biggest concern right now.
I don't need 2 Shutterwalks to win the game. How much value we got from this one Shutterwalk?
I don't
My hero
need 2
power just
Shutterwalks to win the
twice.
game. Probably not.
Right,
Probably
get
not.
off the Lackey generations. 2 5/5s. Like, do I need 4 5/5s on board? I don't think I need 4 5/5s on board.
Just 'cause the tune's going. Let's rock. Come on, let's Shutterwalk. There's a lot of
More locusts come onto the board, but is that enough to keep him alive? We do know that there's 7 damage just showing, so he has to actually eliminate that. But then the lightning bolt,
just-
and the lick'em.
just barely to.
Okay, so it's
Well,
this
maybe it's a freezing trap. Okay. Do get the well played out there though.
Right. I mean, BoarControl will at least test
Or is it
this.
freezing trap?
And he still has
It could be an elaborate bluff.
at least 5 damage to the lightning bolt, or 6 damage rather, lightning bolt and lick'em.
Yeah, BoarControl
So
going
it's
through,
Tesdey
figuring out,
freezing
okay,
trap
well,
in
what's
face.
the best way to make this work?
And we built
Trying his
void
best
as
not
well.
to look stupid in case anything happens. And
Right.
he's like, wow, I should have just known that.
It only happened once.
So he knows 2 of the secrets. Knows Snake Trap and Rat Trap.
Make him have freezing.
Nope.
It's not
that's
freezing.
And that means lightning bolt to the face will get the job done.
And the League of Evil has triumphed in the best of 3.
Pressure plate.
curses.
Well, of course, this is just one match happening around. I believe we gotten word that we'll be checking in with Pathra, Hearthstone Grandmaster, very soon, up against Lambyseries. So let's hop right to it.
Yep.
Warrior versus Hunter. Now, you know, we've seen a lot of Warrior in Rise of Shadows. What are you looking forward to for Warrior in the new expansion?
There's a bunch of different ways that it seems you can build Warrior in the new set. There's Taunt Warrior, which looks to be the direction that Patra's going here. She's got the Armageddillo deck with Faceless Lurker. That's one of the really interesting cards.
So I want better
Armageddillo and Faceless Lurker.
Well, Faceless Lurker is the
Six
copy.
drop.
It's not Copy It. Copy It is the Tomb Warden. Faceless Lurker is the double this minion's health with a battle cry. So any buffs that you put on it from say Into the Fray or Armageddillo
Yes.
are all doubled in terms of its health.
It's a hand buff card.
Right. It's and I do like buffing my cards in hand. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, people did that a lot in the past with things like Doppelgangster or Brian Kibler playing Paladin. It has some really nice implications in the long term if you're able to wear your opponent down. And of course, as you can see in her deck list, she still has cards like Dr. Boom Mad Genius from the Boomsday Project to rely upon in case it ever gets to that point. For now, wow, using Omega Assembly as an opportunity to get mechs onto the board early.
I have to get Explodinator, I think.
Attorney Remover is the only playable card, although it is the weakest card out of all of these three.
I think we just heard her saying that she's going to take it. Yeah, the Explodinator. It doesn't really have a play for next turn, so yes, she could play the Attorney Remover right now, but Explodinator gives her the ability to build up a bigger board and take advantage of her mana next turn while still armoring up.
I'm always in these positions as Warrior and think, should I just not Hero Power so I can get my hero damaged, so I can get Battle Rage to draw a card? Because Battle Rage, you want yourself to be damaged, but if you're gaining armor, it's working against it.
The Spitting Camel.
Spinning Camel, of course, is a 2-mana 2/4 from the new expansion that damages a random friendly minion at the end of your turn. You might think, why would I ever do that? It's because you can grab a 2-mana 2/4 very early on, which might be impactful to win the board.
And Lambyseries did play out that Spring Pot to get the 1 damage on the Frightened Flunky there.
Which coincidentally helps the Battle Rage, but I think Patrick doesn't want to draw with just 1 right now.
Right.
This is the most
Yeah, and the Camel being at 2/4 is a little bit annoying here.
I mean, you're getting a lot of stats for 2 mana. You don't really see 2 mana 2/4s without significant drawbacks. Deal 1 to one of your other minions is a very real one.
Yeah.
But it is a beast, so you can play it in a Master's Call deck and be able to have an early game minion that is much more board dominant than most things that hunters have available.
Yeah, a lot of decks for a while in Hearthstone struggle with 2-mana plays, and having one that's very proactive for Hunter is generally very good. And we also see the synergy with things like Spring Paw because the Length in hand can now be used to eliminate the 2/1, and then Lambyseries can trade into the 3/2. And that downside, in air quotes, is, well, it's not really that big of an impact here. And Lambyseries looks like he's just trying to weather the storm early game that Warrior's trying to develop with this tempo. Another Monty Warbear, where is the Into the Fray, the hand buff 1-mana spell that buffs all of your taunt minions by +2/+2. For now, gonna magnetize with Zilliax. This looks like what Patrick was setting up for the past couple turns with that Omega Assembly. Very astute by Patra to recognize that most likely people don't want to kill the Goblin Bombs because it deals damage to them, and she's able to use the good old Zilliax pressure play.
Play this.
Deadly shot.
Ooh.
Oh, let's go League of Evil.
Yeah, no, that is not a good result
Right.
for the League of Explorers and Lambyseries here.
Yeah, this is also the second Spring Paw, which indicates that Lambyseries most likely is not playing some kind of Reno deck. They would be surprised otherwise. Safeguard, just to develop the tempo.
Yeah, this is looking very, very good
good,
for Patra
okay.
here and very bad for the good guys.
Yeah, or, based off the results, the bad guys.
Wait, surrender. You're on the opposite team.
Let's go, Patra. Close this out.
You're not
I mean, she's
my
even got the curve.
teammate.
Monty Warbear into Tomb Warden,
Yeah.
or, just utilizing things. And the best part for her is that she has a contingency plan. She has Battle Rage to help look for cards or even cement her lead in. And I think Lambyseries is kind of going through every calculations.
She missed the concede button. That's no, go back up there. Go back up there.
It's like, oh wait, I
it.
don't want people to spectate my games here. Well, if you didn't want people to spectate, why are you streaming, Pathra?
Yeah, jeez.
I'm asking the hard questions here. Swarm of Locusts.
Creating a lot of these.
We've seen this card being utilized, and honestly, it's pretty clutch a lot of the times. Just not enough to get past this 3/4 Goblin Bomb that's been magnetized. Seems like these 1/1 rush minions are pretty thematic to Saviors of Uldum. We see all kinds of insects and critters.
Megadillo.
Oh man, our Megadillo. The new expansions which says at the end of your turn, give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. And guess what? She has all taunt minions in her hand.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting a little bit of anxiety, both but the fact that, you know, Lambyseries is really looking like he's going to have a hard time in this game, and because it keeps looking like Pathra is going to put her hair right into those candles. Like that cannot be safe.
In like a Marvel
Well,
movie.
Kibler, I'm pretty sure Pathra knows what to do if her hair's on fire, which is keep playing Hearthstone and ignore what's happening around you.
You know,
Yes,
checks out. Look
so
at their Megadillo.
glorious. See now, Kibler, I know you're rooting for the League of Explorers, but Handbuff has to be
I
doing
mean,
something.
I am torn here. I am definitely torn here.
Yes. And Patra's like waiting to just drop these fat taunts onto the board. The thick boys.
I like
Yeah, that Tomb Warden, you know, the doubled up buffs there. You get a pair of, what is it, 5/8s? That's just so disgusting.
I hope I kill
It's just a lot to get through, and I mean, Hunter has some cool tools, but they're cute. That's all they are.
Okay. Well, that.
They just deal with a threat,
So
and now Patrick can develop and continue to push damage.
on him.
Shield Slam also coming in pretty clutch here. Dr. Boom Mad Genius, a little icing on the cake. We don't really need that. Patrick thinking about the immediate Tomb Warden drop, just 8 mana, play your 8 mana card, seems to be really nice, and you summon a copy of it, so it's 2 5/8s.
That is a big boy who comes with a big friend.
Yeah, we don't need to do anything here. I think we can just go
Her
for
hair is just right in the candle flame. This
Wow.
is not safe.
whoever shampoo or conditioner she uses to be impervious to fire.
Yeah.
Really nicely done.
Brittany, thank you so much for subscribing with your Twitch Prime Pathra Punch. Welcome to my stream, new subscriber.
The angle at which a
I
webcam,
get
when she
punished here
fist
by
bumps the camera, is also very interesting. Makes it look like
No,
she
yeah, you're
has
right.
like a
I should've
10-foot long arm.
And then if it's another one, he gets to kill
Kind of like Luffy from One Piece.
5/8.
Lambyseries with the Animal Command, very desperate play.
Yeah, that's not really looking like
got
it's
another-
going to cut it here.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, the Scale Hydra does mean that
One.
she can kill one of the big boys.
She's treating, or sorry, Lambyseries is treating the symptom, but not really treating the problem.
Okay, well, he would have killed one no matter what. This
All right,
is
so
like-
there's still a thick Tomb Warden hanging out here.
7.
There's Amani Warbear can come down, buffed up, clear off that
I want more
that
pressure.
Scale Hide and just keep the damage rolling.
Yeah. I don't mind drawing 2 cards. 2 mana draw 2 cards is great. It's just that you look at the greed, you're like, oh, I could draw like 3 or 4 cards.
Yeah, but wait,
2 is perfectly
there
fine.
could be so many more.
Yes. And again, funny enough that Patra's been so far in the lead that she hasn't needed, or she just hasn't opportunity to draw an additional card with Battle Rage, because it's for every damage character, which includes your hero.
Yeah, deciding, okay.
Yeah, she's thinking really hard about this
Yeah.
one. I mean, I'm good either way. Draw cards, fine. Gain armor, fine.
All right.
I really don't want to put. I really don't.
But you can see how, you know, perhaps Grandmasters has chiseled her play to the point where she says, you know what, I need to optimize it even in this invitational that we have for fun here.
It's always rat. It could be.
You got to steal a new ring now.
That's right.
Just drop 20 of your rings on the floor.
Only one rat.
The glove has been destroyed.
He's 10 Savior of
Don't hurt yourself. Trying to get that off the ground.
Yes.
your deck, and I saw a pressure plate, so I think he's got another pressure plate. Why wouldn't you have pressure plate?
For reference, by the way, this is game 3. We've had back and forth series, tied 1 game apiece.
All right, yeah, the Tundra Rhino and the Hyena Alpha coming down does allow Lamby to clear some off.
It's a cool combo.
But again, there's just so many big taunts
Yes.
in the hand for Pathra here. Take that out. All right, that hits you in the face. Got a gigantic wall to get through. With the Infested Goblin, the Tomb Warden, and the Amani Warbear against a single Hyena.
And if he plays
Patra's, she's posturing herself as if she needs to be very fortunate to win this game. She's putting her
please.
hands in her prayer. And I actually can't even imagine a series of draws here from Lamby to win the game for him.
To my stream, Patra Punch, welcome. He does have Zul'jin.
Nash's Call going to draw perhaps the Vicious Scalehide. Lambyseries needs to build a big board, and he does have a decent amount of spells in the pool here.
Dire Frenzied one.
All right, yeah, the Zul'jin not really doing enough here.
The Locusts coming out with
Oh yeah, the Swarm of Locusts. Okay.
The Leok's going to be really big, and the Deadly Shot.
Okay.
All right.
I hadn't even really given much thought to Swarm of Locusts with Zul'jin, but Swarm of Locusts filling your board essentially can make it pretty awkward.
Right, especially if you're trying to play other cards like Unleash the Beast,
Right.
which would summon a 5/5 with Rush.
It's certainly powerful here hitting the Leok.
Right.
Thing.
Is that enough to clear everything here? 2, 4, 6, 8, plus 5 damage. So it looks like Lambyseries is going to leave up a minion no matter how he slices this.
All right, so that did chip away quite a bit of the board from Pathra here. So,
Yes.
you know, now that is the most powerful play that I imagine Lamby has to make, though.
Yes, Zul'jin tends to be a big burst of power, but tends to be the climax of those Hunter decks because you're busy building the board and you summon it back and you can pressure for the win. Using it as a way to clear the board generally is a losing position for the Hunter.
Especially when it doesn't even clear the board, right? Like if you're able to use it in
yeah,
swing,
I'd
it's
say.
like okay, you know, I was able to clear off some of the board, but not even the entire thing.
And this is one thing that makes the Warrior very powerful is that it has the ability to transition its game plan.
Yep.
You know, Dr. Boom Mad Genius, we all know how powerful this hero card can be. So now that Patra's used a lot of her top end, and both players seem to have exhausted their resources, Dr. Boom can get over that hump.
All right, so she did get the Discovery Drone right away here, and a couple of options. One thing that's worth noting is that she did see the Pressure Plate is the secret.
Oh,
for
you're
Lambyseries.
right. So she's afraid of playing a spell.
Yeah, so that I think is a big part of why she chose not to fire off that Battle Rage earlier was because of the secret that could have been Pressure Plate.
You are correct. It was hidden by the Hearthstone Invitational
Yeah.
logo. So apologies there for not recognizing that.
Pressure play is gonna
Although, did we even know it was pressure plate?
We know from the Zul'jin.
From the Zul'jin.
showed
You are
the
right.
Pressure
You are right. It showed the pressure plate. If a secret that's already up hasn't been triggered, it
Right.
will reveal to their opponent.
Yep.
Very neat interaction for those who are trying to play Hearthstone at a higher level.
I want him to kill all my dudes.
Another Leok coming down.
then-
Well, I mean, this one helps get past
All right,
everything.
yeah.
This is a big board, and I don't see a brawl in the hand.
Ooh, okay.
Wait, is this a comeback?
Whoa.
I have one.
Did Patra take this a little too slow? But she does have Kaboom as the hero power to help deal with some of this board, so going to force Lambyseries to perhaps take the 3-1 trades as opposed to keeping more power on the board. That gives Pathra a little bit more time. But that lifesteal and the Vicious Scalehound.
Yeah, and it's 6 power thanks to the pair of Leoks here.
Okay.
This is some big damage coming in.
Oh, this is.
Well, you can see Patra's a little more stressed, you know. She was a little bit chippier and happier when the subs were coming in. But now it's game phase time. Brawl picked up off the top. Now she can play a spell. Now, again, this is an interaction I haven't tested since the new expansion. If you play this should not trigger pressure play,
Correct.
right? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's
you
no
have
minions.
to have a minion.
Right. So she could have played perhaps the Scarab first and then Shield block.
So there is the question: what is the second secret, right? Because Lambyseries did play another secret here.
Right.
And say that secret is Rat Trap. Because if the secret is not Rat Trap, you want to play your Scarab probably into Brawl in order to give yourself 25% chance to full clear the board. If you could Brawl now, and then you actually either way you still have Brawl into Shield Slam as an option if there is the Rat Trap anyway. So Yeah, so I like the Scarab into Brawl. I expect what we'll probably see. This gives a 25% chance to just full clear the board. If there is Rat, you have Shield Slam. But she doesn't have the time for the animation now to figure out who wins.
Yeah, she's thinking real hard about it, and I kind of don't blame her for being stuck in a position where she feels like she might be in trouble. But looks like she's.
It was Rat too.
It was Rat Trap, yes.
Yeah.
So, but the Leox, I guess, were more threatening in the long
Right.
run. So this is okay.
I knew
Okay.
Rat was coming, but
I mean, having 5/7s that buff everything with +1 attack, I think is actually better to remove than the Rat Traps itself.
Well, I'm a little curious why she didn't make the play of just playing the Scarab into the Brawl. Brawl triggers Rat because it's the third spell of the turn, right? Because she had started with Shield
yes,
Block.
yes, you are correct.
And then there's that full clears the board every time.
maybe.
So the Rat would come out before the Brawl.
No. Well, if she plays, it doesn't necessarily full clear because if the Scarab doesn't win, if one of the other things wins, then yeah, you still have two things, but there's only two rather than the possibility. There's one at the end as opposed to the possibility of two at the end.
It seemed like she was more banking on the fact that this wasn't Rat Trap, given that's a mystery secret, right?
Sure,
She didn't know what it was, so she says, you know what? I'm gonna just take the probability that's most likely not Rat Trap. Although we do know that hunters love Rat Trap. It even found its way in competitive decks towards the end of Rise of Shadows.
Rat Trap's real nice. Yeah. Oh, Deadly Shot in the 1/4. Lambyseries really wants to get the pressure
liberal
on here.
I mean, perhaps Lambyseries sees a lack of cards in the hand, and is drawn to the fact that maybe he can just try to pressure the warrior out of using any of its tools. And Armorsmith dying meant that the double life gain.
Ooh, that snipe feels pretty good on that actually because Armorsmith comes down, buys you some life here. There is another secret still up.
Without that, Pathra had to clear, right? Because the 3 damage would have gone on the Rat, and then would have been able to use the hero power to effectively trade everything. So the snipe coming in huge.
But this still comes up pretty big for Pathra here. She's able to clear off the Rat Trap, gain some life thanks to that Armorsmith as well.
Yeah. And I think Pathra has given up on the race your opponent down to 0 game plan. Because, well, Lambyseries is down to 22, and she doesn't exactly have any finishing cards. But what she does have, Dr. Boom Mad Genius. And, I think her reliance on this card is going to be ultimately the key to her victory here. Faces Lurker, basically doing exactly that, just lurking in the shadows like many of you in the chat.
Testing a secret, wants to get some damage in.
Right, yep. Afraid of Snake Trap or a couple other things. But she's been attacking into minions for a while now, so just thinking about how she wants to set up her future turns.
So close.
Lambyseries, what does he have? We've been seeing duplicates, so is it just perhaps a mid-range hunter featuring Saviors of Uldum tempo cards? We've seen the Hyena. We've seen Pressure Plate. What else is in store here for the hunter?
Oh, there's Hyena Alpha. All right, well.
I mean, it's just a board.
Pathra does still have that Brawl, so works very well with the microbots this turn as well.
Yeah, she even has a lot of life to play with too. Faceless Lurker.
You're getting yourself a Fen Creeper if you just play that naturally. Just a 3/6 for 5.
It's honestly, sometimes that gets the job done. And you can see that Patra's starting to analyze the game state as a whole. It's not just what's on the board, but how many cards does my opponent have? And what kind of opportunities do I have to turn it? She's going to Brawl preemptively and then guarantee the clear with her microbots. I guess if she microbots and Brawl, there's a chance that, say the 4/3 survives.
Sure, yeah.
I wonder if
And then she can't deal with it.
First and then
So, I mean, there's even a possibility that Patra might favor tempo, but as the player with Dr. Boom Bad Genius, you tend to want to hero power every turn because that's how you climb
hero power
further
is really
ahead.
strong.
Yes, you tend to climb further and further ahead. And the best case scenario happened for Patra, which is a 2/2 surviving. Therefore, her third microbot will be able to stay on the board.
Yep. Finds herself the frightened flunky here.
I wonder if Patra's considering fatigue because she's been hovering a lot over Lambyseries' deck and keeping in mind her own card count, which means that if she battle rages too far deep into her deck, she ends up getting herself in a fatigue scenario. However, I think with 10 cards remaining,
another Hunter's pack.
Oh, wow. 100 Pack's actually really clutch in this position just to use Lamby's mana. I feel like both players are kind of low on resources, so having anything to play, even if it's not super impactful by itself, is really important here. And we're coming down to the wire. You know, this round's actually going a lot longer.
Another Desert Spear.
I mean, it lines up pretty poorly into Kaboom. That's not what's important here. What's important is that Lambyseries has things to do.
Yeah. Berserker throw. Let me ask you something.
Axe versus bombs.
I suppose so.
Another Tomb Warden.
Both Into the Fray are still remaining in Pathra's deck here.
Right, the card that which she's kind of building her deck around.
The Frightened Flunky could find her an Armadillo. She went with that too, which would obviously make her the rest of her hand really scary. But she's gonna go with the just max tempo now, pair of 3/6s.
Yep. Eliminate Snipe from
I thought I was doing the
a
right order.
possibility.
I should have just cleared it when I could have cleared it.
Lambyseries, what else did he get from his Hunter's Call card, where he's able to draw, or sorry, rather add
Just get rid of it.
cards from the Hunter class to his hand?
Another one. Because this was the
This is the last match of the first round. As we mentioned that we were a little bit over the time for round one, but I mean, we let these players finish out and play their games.
same one from Uldum, right?
We will update you on the scores. The winner of this gets 10 points for their team, and we will find out which team gets the round one victory.
Rat trap and pressure.
And of course, if I'm Lambyseries and Pathra, I am well aware that people are watching us as the last match of the round, so going extra slow to maximize that screen time. Swarm of Locusts number 2, Kill Command. All these resources being used to grab value. Lambyseries even valuing his own life total at this point.
All right.
Warpath. Okay, so what does the Frightened Flunky get here? Our Megadillo? Living Monument. I mean, that's just big stats. 10 mana, 10,
Big
10.
boy. Big boy right there.
Yeah, Lord of the Arena lets you hero power right now, and I think that's exactly what Patra's weighing. Do I favor this turn or next turn?
But you could take the Living Monument now and play Faceless Lurker hero power this turn, get yourself a 3/6, and then be able to play a 10/10 next turn.
Yeah, plus it's a giant statue.
10/10 is
rock
really
hard
big.
pecs.
And it's a new card.
Yes. I think we both have different priorities when we're looking.
Your priority is rock hard pecs. My priority is new cards.
Yeah, summarizes us very well.
For the chat. 10-10.
I mean, literally rock hard. He's
Yes, he is a
made of rock.
he is a monument centaur, as it looks like to be.
I can't believe I have 2 Into the Frays in my deck.
Yes, as you hear, Patrick, she's talking about her key card Into the Fray. She, very clearly was building her deck around having powerful swings with
and I have
big buffs, but only having our Megadillo not Into the Fray makes it a little bit tricky. And of course, had we had access to Lambyseries POV, we'd be able to also identify what are some of his powerful cards. If you want to follow along, check out Lambyseries stream.
Yeah, all these players are streaming their own perspectives, so if you want to hear their thoughts on the game, see what they see, be sure to check that out. Another Desert Spear comes down.
Okay, shield block. If I'm Pathra, I think I'm totally okay with using that if I need to. Beryllium Nullifier, another really nice fat minion to just come onto the board. Thick minion. Beryllium Nullifier adds a lot of stats with its magnetic ability here. So, still hasn't really diffused the secret yet. Now we see Snake Trap.
Okay.
I was about to make commentary on it. I think we've seen almost every possible secret except for Snake Trap. So it comes down to another Rat Trap or the Pressure Plate. I think she has played a spell though, right?
So close.
Apologies, it's a little bit hard to sometimes keep track of all of the things. But Lambyseries does at least have one more secret up.
That's what Conjurers needed. Wonka S. You thought it was Freezing Trap? Yes. I was like, oh my god, no
What does
way.
Lambyseries have as the backup to his backup? Zul'jin is not often the primary game plan for a lot of Hunter decks. It is something to do in case the game is not finished by then. And Lambyseries just trading, being very reactive, but when you go up against Warrior, you don't have many options.
Right, needs some other big power play, and I'm not sure it's there.
My big 10-10.
Starving Buzzard.
Oh, there it is. That power play you're looking for.
Ooh, oh, I wonder if Lamby's concerned about getting fatigued because it did choose to play the Starving Buzzard after attacking with a weapon, which created a beast.
I think so.
Whenever you
Yeah,
summon a beast
5 cards left in the deck.
Wow. I mean, good on both these players to identify that fatigue was coming with 10 cards remaining on both sides here.
I think I
Pathra
want
finally
to
draws into the fray, but has 2 minions to buff it, and she'd rather play the Living Monument this turn, but at the same time,
10 here, maybe.
you also have the Zap hero power from Dr. Boom, which is one of the best ones. Do you want to get value off of it now? If you play Living Monument, pretty sure the Starving Buzz is just going to attack before you play a beast to get a card draw.
Right. Well, that's I think actually part of the incentive to just use this turn to play the Living Monument because there's nothing you feel like you need to react to.
I think perhaps the logic from Pathra. Ooh, another
Well,
taunt.
that's a perfect draw here. You get to into the fray, into the Proud Defender if you want.
Yeah,
Oh, you can hold on to it though. Interesting.
Because
Yeah, into the fray here. So she could save it for another Infested Goblin or a second Proud Defender, but it seemed like that was a really good opportunity to drop
Right,
Proud
you
Defender.
get yourself a 6/8 down with the Proud Defender as your lone minion. You double the buff on the
Faceless Lurker.
the Faceless Lurker too.
And Living Monuments Pex get even harder.
this is on, but I guess
I didn't even think that was possible.
Even more swole.
Yeah.
The 6
Thaddeus got nothing on
Yeah,
him.
he just like supersetted it. You know, he's like, all right.
That's right. Did some extra push-ups before this photo shoot.
He can't skip leg day either because he has 4 legs.
Every day is leg day.
Hero power.
Living, air quote, leg day monument.
Well, into the fray first before I play any time. If I get
Lambyseries struggling real hard here. I'm finding, I'm just, I'm going to look through the Hunter class cards here, Kibler.
See, I actually think that the reason that Pathra would not have made the play that we were just discussing is the threat of Rat Trap. That one of those, one of those secrets, being Rat Trap would make it so.
That's
She
right.
does not want. But
That's right.
that said, the Proud Defender would be 6/8, big enough to fight the rat, but doesn't want to possibly fall behind, is my guess.
Yeah, I mean, she's aware of things like this, right? The buff Leox, the possibility that Lambyseries might have like another Tundra Rhino that she's not accounting for, unless of course we have missed that. Now the second Proud Defender being drawn. So into the fray, and Proud Defender can come down here for Pathra, but she can't deal with everything.
Oh god, it's gonna kill my dude. Ah, okay.
And I kind of wonder on Patra's end here. Is she just gonna like drain the Hunter completely out of resources and just like go for the inevitable victory as opposed to say, draining life points from Lambyseries?
Oh, there's the pressure plate. Boom.
Okay. Not the ideal target, but
Oh, well, that had already attacked at least.
yeah. That's why she ordered things the way she did. I like how Patra's gonna navigate this. And she's very much in tune with what's happening here. Obviously we're like talking about ways you can optimize if your opponent didn't have secrets or you didn't know what your opponent's playing. But she is playing around a lot of the cards that she's expecting from Hunter here.
I think we pass. I was thinking if he has Unleash,
All right, well,
that would be bad. for
yeah,
me,
she's saying,
but-
hoping that there's no Unleash
of
the
what I
Hounds,
think.
especially with that big
Yes.
Leok.
I believe both Locust cards have been played as well. So Leok has very few ways to capitalize on
can't play-
big board creation.
The other taunt because it's.
Is this another
Yeah,
Dire
it's a Dire
Frenzy?
Frenzy. Speaking of the
Oh my
fatigue
gosh.
concerns.
This game, we might just be scratching the surface of the fatigue plan.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Right, and this actually might force Pathra to pivot in the sense that, does she even have the luxury of actually playing this slow? Now that the second Vicious Scalehide, the Locust synergizing with the Desert Spear, Lambyseries climbing back into this game.
Now, does he want to get the damage on Leok or on this Scalehide?
Scalehide seems it has a lot more upside the longer
Right.
the game goes. But also, Lambyseries still has another attack from Desert Spear and three more Vicious Scalehides. I think it's completely okay to use it in this spot.
Another secret.
Pressure plate.
Mega Assembly. That's great for the resources. And Pathra does have a way to actually utilize the tempo through her battle cry of Dr. Boom Mad Genius. Attack, sees another puzzle pressure plate.
Ooh, Omega Devastator. A Mechathune.
Oh my
She's
goodness.
running low on cards. Will she be able to even like alternate win condition Mechathune?
I'm gonna do this for sure.
Maybe. She can first discover a mech with the delivery drone.
I'm playing only one.
Sees what she can pick off of it. Another Tomb Warden.
She still has Into the Fray left. That's a really powerful option.
Yes.
And yeah, the minions left in her deck are quite weak, so no real incentive for the. I'm just suddenly blanked the name of that card. The thing that gets you a card in your deck and gives it rush. Boom Reaver. Boom Reaver, that's what it is.
Okay, looks like Pathra feeling a lot more optimistic about her outlook right now, given that, well, before it looked like she was low on resources, but the combination of delivery drone and a Mega Assembly, as you guys can see, has kept Warrior very powerful even throughout Rise of Shadows. Well, especially through Rise of
I have to say,
It's a strat.
they've
guys.
done all right. Dr. Boom's been doing all right.
All right, Pat.
Yeah,
everybody
I
in
mean,
my chat.
the Omega Devastator, the Mega cards, basically were doing a lot of work.
But that's only because he was not
Perfect
thwarted yet by the League of Explorers.
Which doesn't look like it's happening right now.
Zul'jin is not in the League of Explorers, okay?
For my team.
If Pathra fights really hard,
Another starving buzzard.
He's drawing. He's drawing. He's drawing. He's drawing. He's drawing.
so, unironically playing Starving Buzzard in your decks in 2019, Kibler, what are we thinking here? Just trying to go for big combos?
Well, was that actually just from the deck or was that from a discovered something?
Would that be a second?
I don't know. It may have. I think
Buzzard?
it was. Yeah,
Oh.
I thought it was from Hunter's Pack.
Oh, you could be right.
Yeah.
I think you actually are right.
What it is. I wonder what.
Regardless.
I know it's a shot.
Unironically playing Starving Buzzard and drawing a
Ooh,
card
there's-
with it.
All right,
in
there's Into the
2019.
Fray
it's
with
a
Tomb Warden, Limby Guanyu, and Proud Defender. There's the Infested Goblin left in the deck.
Yes.
Aww. Part of me just wants to play.
So Into the Fray into Tomb Warden allows Pathra to buff the Tomb Wardens to 5 attack minions, 2 5/8s. Stats
big.
don't line up completely perfectly here.
Should I just kill that for like? Oh yeah. 5.
Ooh, gonna take down.
Was Spark Drill better?
Yeah, Pathra trying to weigh if she needs to take down the Vicious Scalehide.
Spark Drill was better with a hero power.
Yeah, and she's kind of wishing she had the ability to utilize her hero power here. She did have an option to use Spark Drill to clear the board.
Yep.
She could have played Spark Drill, trade it as a 5/1 into the 4/6. She gets left with a couple of Rush Sparks, and then use her hero power to clear. And she could have even toss it into the fray
the
during the
Spark
process.
Drill.
So I believe there's still a secret up, which is Rat Trap, right?
Oh, you could be correct as well.
Which means that Spark Drill off after, if you used Into the Fray as well, which
Yes.
obviously you don't have to.
I believe so, because Pressure Plate was a secret that was adjusted to the left, which means that there's a second secret that we can't see. It's so secret, we don't
Yeah,
even know.
It's very secret. It's exceptionally secret.
I just have to. The thing is, chat. I'm always playing around Rat Trap, so I can play 2 cards.
There you go. Here explaining.
There you go.
That's like the main issue. But yeah, Spark Drill was definitely
Yeah,
better.
and some people say, well, Kibler, she already has the tools to deal with Rat Trap, and it's the idea that she doesn't give any opening, and the later Rat Trap triggers into the game, the less effective it is.
So I'm gonna be taking 1 fatigue first, and I don't think he can. Oh damn.
The Locust comes out again,
5.
and I gotta say that this Hunter deck has a lot more game than I thought it did.
Definitely doing some powerful things late in the game here. That is a Town Crier. That's a 1/2 for 1.
Yeah.
Does not have any.
No implications here.
So we go
Now,
5.
Lambyseries is not aware of this Mechathune in the hand. This Mechathune has Rush.
Right.
So, Lambyseries, if he has, say, a poisonous minion of some kind, this game might have a very surprise plot twist at the end. And Patra's starting to dump her hand a little bit. Only a little bit, though. She can still use her hero power and play around the Rat Trap instead of using the Spark.
Right. Which I would expect to see. We literally just heard her say, hey, I'm only playing 2 cards a turn, playing around Rat Trap here.
Wait, I can just Warpath.
If you Warpath, you trigger the rat trap. Why would?
Yeah, it feels like
Don't do that.
It feels free to just kill it off.
Playing Warpath would have summoned the rat.
Catching herself like.
It's like, oh wait, oh god.
And we've been there so many times as Hearthstone players where you spend so much effort with the game plan, and then you think of a fun creative play or something that you didn't spot the last second. You're like, wait, that just sabotages everything I've been working for.
Well, I mean, this is the exposed Scalehide. There could just be Mechathune taking this down.
Could be Mechathune, or if perhaps Pathra is looking for an alternative game plan, just play 2 cards like Proud Defender and Infested Goblin. Man, that's still a very big boy. Proud Defender at 810.
It would summon, so here 4, 3, you play this, and this becomes
Lambyseries still has, I believe, 1 more Scalehide.
Just losing rings left.
I'm
and right
losing
over
rings
here.
left and right.
You'll never complete the Infinity Gauntlet at this
Stop.
rate.
That's how intense it is.
You can see why it was not selected for the role of Thanos.
Just can't keep those gems.
I have to in this.
Can you do that glove thing real quick for us, just to show us how it looked like?
You
And
try
it's
to
like-
snap your fingers, they just fly everywhere. It's like, ultimate cosmic power
Yeah.
and ultimate clumsiness.
What you gonna do? What you gonna
Very
do?
scuffed, very
scuffed.
This Living Monument is really fearsome, and she's waited for a long time. We've seen both deadly shots, we've seen both pressure plates.
Yeah, we're really waiting until we get the after picture from the workout series from Living Monument.
I mean, he's used to standing still for a long time.
Yeah. He's just been planking for millennia.
Create better.
That's right. He's been in Downward Dog for centuries. Really strong core. Another vicious Scalehide. Lampy. I'm not even sure if Lampy even has any more cards
Time to
left.
play the Living Monument.
Is it time?
Oh, it's time. Boom.
Yes! 14-14, 2-turn lethal, out of cards, and based off the hand position, looks like Lampy has 2 cards left. 2 or 3 cards.
That really needs, yeah, there it is. There's a concession. So after all that, Pathra does take the game down for the League of Evil.
And you know what? Even earns a free Uldum pack because she played 10 cards.
100 cards, I think.
100 cards.
100 cards, a lot of
100
cards.
Oh yeah, from 1 game.
Probably.
That's right. With the release of Saviors of Uldum, there will be legendary quest that gives you free packs based off just playing cards, apparently. But we're gonna go into round number 2 momentarily.
Well, first, let's check out how everything did play out in round number 1. So it looks like Trump did take that win in the Battle of Value Town.
But how many other series were won?
I don't care. That was the one that I chose as my champion. That's the one that made the most sense.
Going up against Kibler and Choose Your Champion, not fair fight whatsoever. So it looks like League of Sports got what looks to be 5 wins. Trump, Nightmare, Ali Straza, Tomatoes, and Yuko with 5. And League of Evil with a 6 victory. However, Trump's pick with you is worth twice.
Yeah, because of the choice of Trump as my round 1 champion. I believe, let's take a look at the standings for the round. I believe we are tied.
All right, 60 points apiece, but we have 2 more rounds and a lot more Hearthstone to be played, Kibler. So we're just getting started in this throwdown. Scripted.
Yeah, but there is a lot more Hearthstone to come, as Frodan said, so don't go anywhere. The Uldum Invitational will be right back.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saviors of Uldum Inn-vitational. I am Rafam, joined by Reno Jackson, my mortal enemy, and we have pit once again the League of E.V.I.L up against the League of Explorers. If you are just tuning in, we are challenging 22 of the most legendary Hearthstone players from around the globe, 8 regions, and challenging them into a bunch of best-of-3 matches where they must play new cards from the expansion.
Yeah, the players are broken down into 2 teams, the League of Explorers and the League of E.V.I.L. They're all playing a single class representing their league throughout all 3 rounds. They can, however, change up their decks between rounds if they so choose. We're playing 3 rounds of best-of-3 matches with each player winning 10 points for their team for each match win. So after the first round, well, things are about as close as they can get.
Yes, because we do have one additional kicker rule, which is prior to the round starting, the casters get to choose your champion. And Kibler managed to correctly predict again, as usual, Trump was getting the victory over Kripp. And by doing so, doubled his point count, and now you're tied 60 points apiece.
Yeah, so, well, we have to do that for this round. We're going to see the matchup right now that will be going up. We'll see Snail versus Alistraza, BoarControl versus Nightmare, Sequinox versus RDU, Slissa versus Yuko, Aijiro versus Tomatos, Fujitora versus Lambyseries, Sonagi versus Orange, Tio Yarston versus Trump, Kripp versus Gunner, Plagiat versus Tesdey, and Pathra versus Surrender.
A new sentence
Lot of
was
action.
born just
Lot
before
of
your
action.
very eyes and ears, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, it's time for Choose Your Champion. Let's get round 2 started. I'm going to start off with the winner of the last match of the previous round in Pathra. P.S. Evil rocks. Because she played very well at the very end of that series, and it was a very exciting way to start off round 1.
Well, my choice, I hope that she is in fact playing a Reno mage deck, but she did also pick up a win in the first round. It is Alistraza with my terrible rendition of a dragon right there. And that's going to be the match that we're going
Leave the
into.
drawings to Natalie, please.
It's not my forte.
You're
I'll tell
great
you
at
that
the
much.
card
I'll tell you that
games,
much.
the front facing stuff, the dog Karen. But overall, I gotta say, better dragon than I would have drawn.
We will be seeing Ali on camera first round against Snail, and here it goes. It is not, in fact, a Reno deck. I am hurt. I am personally wounded here.
How do you know that?
Well, because we can see her list in the side.
Oh, you're right. I was looking at her hand. I was like, wow. So you are an explorer and a detective.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, I actually stole a crystal ball that allows me to see the future.
All right, so I think.
So then what happens in this game?
I mean reclaimed for the purposes of good.
Gotcha. All right, well, Vampire Scoundrel.
Ooh, what's in the box? The mystery choice.
I mean, Cinderstorm is a
Ooh, I
pretty
really
decent
want any
choice,
of
but does she want to go for the dreams or does she want to go for the memes?
You say that as if they are mutually exclusive.
Okay, does she want to go for glory or does she want to go for the story?
That same thing. Same thing.
Kibler, not everyone is you, and we just choose to entertain millions of fans across the world.
Yes.
Some of us are trying to win.
What is in the box of Mirror Entity? Okay. And that too could be anything. So
It could be.
The Cinderstorm is probably.
all right. Well, I do like that the Volpera Scoundrel. I think it's a pretty sweet card.
Yes.
It's decent value. You're discovering a spell, and also you have the meme value of you can rebuy.
Feeling that high
All right.
roll.
So for Snail Arg, I believe there was no quest played on turn 1, which we have seen a couple of rogue players go for that. Oh, the Naga Sandwich. Very delicious and very effective to reduce the cost of your spells to 5, or increase them apparently for Mirror Entity.
Yeah. But this does give the possibility of Power of Creation next turn, and we can take a look at Snail's hand at the top
Oh, the
there
technology has arrived.
I hope it was worth.
We can now
this
see
is-
the upper hand.
now. It's Shadow of Death along with Tack. Okay, that's a daring
Taz.
escape there. Taz. No, Tack Noswhisker.
Is it Tag now? I thought it was
Tack, yeah.
Taz.
No,
Oh,
you're thinking of Taz Dingo.
yeah. Or Taz.
I don't know what you're thinking of. Ooh, double eccentric scribe on turn 5.
Arena.
Oh God,
That's a lot of tempo.
that is brutal.
Yeah, and
Wow.
with Snail Arg's hand, which we want you to imagine what he's going to play next. What can he do with Taz Noswhisker?
Well, he does have 6 mana, so he could just go ahead and play one of those. I forget the name of that card actually.
Taz?
No, that's 7 mana. There was the
Shadow,
the reborn
Shadow.
the reborn thing.
Oh,
The
oh,
3/4
yes.
reborn. I totally forget the name of the
I need
card.
to briefly,
actually-
but I do know what you're talking
And when we saw it in his hand, it was not in English, so I couldn't even. There it is, Cartoot Defender.
The travel event.
Ooh, and he's stabbing one of these. Wow, 6 damage.
Good time with all the old.
So the idea there, you know, he wants to ensure that he's able to
challenge.
kill this. Yeah,
Yes.
right. So
Dog. I'm
And you know, Ali has a fairly defensive hand, but the puzzle box of Yogg-Saron is 5 mana, and it is playable this turn. So, you know, we'll see if Ali once again favors, you know, more stable, competitive play. You know, Vulpera Scoundrel, still very good in this spot.
I don't know if I trade first.
all right, well, yeah, there's the possibility to just trade in here and then ping off the reborn copy that comes down, or rather the reborn version with 1 health.
Yeah, the defender, not going to be super
Wow,
impactful
she
in
just-
this spot. Oh, she's going for it.
Ah,
I like it.
okay,
Innervate.
that is interesting.
She can ping anyways. See, she knew. Soulfire. Okay, she didn't need that anyways. Doesn't do anything.
That was an aggressive
wait.
puzzle box. Ooh, plot twist.
God, okay.
Oh,
Oh dear.
well, she ends up drawing 2 of the cards in her hand anyways. And her hand looks very similar, actually. So her hand looks very similar. She played the same secret twice, by the way, Repentance, which is pretty hilarious to me.
Given that it's 10 spells, any spell in the entire standard format,
picked 2
and she
of the
played
secrets.
Repentance twice.
Which reveals the secret.
Right, which means that Snail knows there's a Repentance over there.
Oh, man. All right.
I mean, it didn't do anything too crazy. It just plot twisted. I got a new.
Wow, there's another Quartet Defender.
That's fine. Drew.
The Ziliac seems to be something that Snailard is favoring this position just so he can get that lifesteal and recover a little bit of the board state. But what is he going to do with, like, Daring Escape? I kind of want to see what is this deck just the Pogo Hoppers, just with new
Well, with-
rendition of stuff?
I mean, I wonder if this is a cultist deck, right? 'Cause
A
it has-
Mogul Cultist deck?
Well, with Taz, you know, if you're trying to get a bunch of something, right? Like that's a thing that you'd want to put like you know,
Yes.
bunch
yes.
of in your hand at once.
So for people who do not know what we're referring to, there's a new card from Saviors of Uldum. It's a 1-mana 1/1 called Mogul Cultist that says if you control 7 of these, aka your board is full of them, you will summon the High Keeper Raw, which is a 20-mana 20/20 that deals
10 mana.
20 damage. Oh, sorry, 10 mana.
You can actually, so yeah.
Sorry, 10 mana 20/20. I got carried with the
There's a lot of 20s. There's a lot of 20s
that
involved.
deals 20 damage to everything on your opponent's side of the board.
Right. And you know, you can obviously use cards like Togwaggle Scheme or I'm blanking on the Lab Recruiter to put more copies in your
Yes.
deck. And
With
if you do
Ta-
have
with Taz.
if you do have with Taz, if you have you know the Togwaggle Scheme, you just put them all in your hand right away. He does also have the Shadow of Death. There it is. There's a cultist.
Ooh. Good call, Brian Kibler. You are one with the memes. I like it. Ooh, I like this other new card too, Conjured Mirage. It's a 4-mana 3/10 taunt minion that at the start of the turn for whoever played it will be shuffled into the deck. And the idea is to give it a lot of sustain so you can kind of have taunts and, you know, even helps you battle fatigue a little bit. Very interesting card, very open-ended. Not exactly sure where it fits, but it seems like if you want to pull off big combos, it helps stall for time.
Right.
Because it's most likely not going to die at 10 health early on in the game, and then you could maybe get more presence and value off of it.
Well, and you know, for instance, if Ali were to play like Siamet right now, right?
Right.
Double Reno, clearly the choice.
I mean, thematically, it's just on
Yes.
point.
But yeah, and here you know, it essentially just bought a turn. It was kind of like a Frost Nova, right?
Yes.
It's like, okay, well, you're just not going to bother attacking because otherwise you're just spending a ton of resources
Right.
going in here.
Although, funnily enough, I kind of wonder how that works with like shuffling mechanics. So like if you get into the fatigue scenario, you like Togwaggle Scheme a bunch of those mirages into your deck, and you just constantly battle fatigue. It seems really interesting. All right, Ali looks like she's running into nonstop walls here, and you know, Snail's slowly but surely getting that Mogul Cultist package ready to go.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, I think Ali might be calculating if she
Oh,
even
we
has
might
potential
actually.
for
No, we don't.
lethal, but I don't think she does.
Don't think we have lethal.
Yeah, there's 10, 11, 12 now. 13. Yeah, but if you have to actually get through the the defender twice.
If she was able to, you know, summon the perfect card off of Scoundrel, which I'm a little bit sad that we haven't seen Zephyrus yet. I do think Zephyrus is the coolest card in the set.
All right, so yeah, probably Divine Shield and Rush coming down here to clear off the defender.
Right. Or, I mean, Wind Fury is a possibility because it helps get past through the taunt. But I mean,
could be just Rush and Wind Fury.
I mean, that works too. She has the hero power.
Wait.
Freeing up board space, right?
Oh, and of course that heals.
I think she was thinking that it was Divine Shield because of the Reborn glow.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just freeing up board space because she wanted to do something else.
No,
but,
I think it was just a little.
All right.
We are seeing a lot of these people are seeing the Reborn,
the new
graphical effect
animations
for the first time, and yeah, it kind of does look like a Divine Shield. So
it looks a little bit more like to immune, but
yeah.
Obviously if it was immune, that'd be insanely broken.
Yeah,
taunt with immune.
What does Reborn mean? Well, can't die. Oh, awkward.
Yeah. Well, Snailorg picks up the preparation. Not many stuff to discount, but does have the shadow and the daring escape.
The taunt thing. I mean, it's pretty good. It gives people 6 health.
I wonder if Snailorg is going to just utilize
Yeah, I think
the lackeys here.
I think, yeah, lackey daring escape. You get a bunch of additional stuff in your hand. No, just gonna go with the daring escape. Okay.
Okay, just get more lackeys. Snailorg has to be careful not to die here. 2 goblin lackeys, so
I mean,
2 by 2 they come.
There, right? So.
All right.
So we've got 14, 15, 16 damage.
Lemnix Staunos helps draw a card.
I think he really wanted something with higher attack there to actually be able to rush in.
This can limit the 4/3.
Of Divine Shield. Well, it would have gone to 3. And then maybe I could have traded the 1/4, and it would be a 6/2.
So there's 11, 12 power on the board.
Mark of Nature.
The Mark of Nature is just
4
lethal.
damage. Yep. So Ali Straza is going to have what she needs to close this out.
Very interesting that it turned out to just be tempo play, but you know, things like power of creation and other things just generating too much stats.
Yeah, the Naga sandwich into power of creation. You know, Ali was able to just put so much on the board so quickly. And you know, even with the puzzle box of Yogg-Saron that basically didn't do anything the next turn.
Yeah, it actually just like set a 1/1 to a 1/1 and played the same secret twice. That was revealed to Rabonid. Reshuffled a hand which he drew half the same cards anyways at full cost. It seemed to have not really mattered that much, but what did matter was all the stats on the board, which is a lesson to be learned for all those mage players out. Play your cards and get the board. Stop just stalling all the time.
Yeah, and for all
for
all those rogue players who are trying to get Mogu Cultists out there, you need a lot of them, not just the one.
A cautionary tale for all those aspiring Mogu cultists out there. But that's just our one game around the tavern and a good start off to your series. Yes.
Yeah, and we're going to be checking in on another game, which is Slissa versus Yuko here. Slissa, a big fan of the Murlocs, so is choosing to play Shaman. And it would appear that she is playing a Murloc version of Quest Shaman.
Yeah, Slissa has qualified for the Master's Tour Soul in her first try with Murloc Shaman, and she also used it to climb to, I believe, Legend Rank 2 in a couple of seasons ago. So it's a very special deck to her.
Yep. Both players here have completed their quests. So we see a really, really scary War Druid Lodi who gets every ability once you...
It is intense when you have War Druid Lodi and the Choose One ability, because the Obsidian Tier, which is the Druid quest reward, allows you to have a Fandral Stag Helm aura, which means that every choose one, you get both or all of the options in War Druid Lodi's case.
We're not going to use the hero power.
All right, well, Slissa is going to be digging. Okay. Fire Elemental is going to get the job done there.
She looks like she's just favoring that tempo because she knows that, oh, wait, I see what she's trying to do.
Next time we're on.
She's trying to hero power and then coin Shutterwalk. Because I was like, you know what, it's turn 8, what are you saving the coin for? And everyone's like, oh, well, if you get the quest from the shaman up, you get to do this really corner case
double
scenario.
walk.
Yeah.
The wasp or something.
The double
I don't
walk.
see it doing much good here. It's kind of
It is pretty powerful.
And she's saving the Ethereal Lackey for the next turn. Looks like she really favors that. And you know what, she has a lot of life to play with. Or does she? Druid of the Claw.
Yeah, that's a lot. Druid of the Claw plus Druid of the Scythe plus bees, which don't really do anything here.
Wow,
necessarily.
Kibler, your Japanese is impeccable.
Yeah, you know, Shiro is actually Japanese for white, so I had to learn all the other words as well.
Man of many talents, I see.
Yeah, one. She has swiping hand.
Interesting that Yuko starts off with the Wrath here, I guess, looking at the Druid of the Claw and the Druid of the Scythe as possibilities. And then the question becomes, how does Slissa fight back? Did she have too much value in her hand and not enough tempo? Might be the case.
But
Well, you know, take a look at what she has played so far. You know, it looks like she has played the Swamp King Hagath, but not yet the Druskvar Horror.
The key could be Sandstorm Elemental.
Yeah, Sandstorm Elemental with double Battle Cry off of the Shudderwalk. It's not. I don't know if she played one or two of them.
It could, yes. So Sandstorm Elemental is a new card from Saviors of Uldum. It's Battle Cry, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. If you guys remember One Night in Karazhan and the effect of Maelstrom Portal, which was very similar, yeah, instead you just get a guaranteed 2/2, but you do overload a mana crystal.
Ooh, that is an angry Siamat there.
Yes, you get to hero power and then coin out Siamat.
because it would have Rush, Divine Shield.
Oh, you're talking about on
Well,
Yuko's
I
side.
mean, yeah, the opposing side is pretty scary.
Also double kill that.
Yeah. It gets
Fail life,
everything.
so it
And,
doesn't
you know, consequently, you can get everything too.
This is bad here. Doesn't make sense.
So the Just for Horror, which was summoned off of Swamp King Hagatha, has Farsight and another card, or another Bloodlust, which is not impactful in this
That
position.
We'd have to use the coin.
Right.
So next turn is on 10.
So, Slissa can actually take out the Siamat if she just plays Divine,
I mean, we could
or no,
find
she cannot
something
actually.
too.
Well, she could, if she wanted to, she could hero
Hero
power
power
and then get
coins.
all abilities,
Yeah.
right? So she can have Rush, Divine Shield, Wind Fury, so it could trade with it.
Right.
Pretty big cost there.
Yeah, and quite frankly, you don't really need double shot.
She does have the Ethereal Lackey, right? So she could. Oh wow, she's gonna go for it.
I think she's
So-
going for the guaranteed clear.
This,
Every ability.
this. All right, let's just kill that thing. It's
Yep.
scaring me.
Does decide to
Leave
just
them with the board.
Siamat on
Shudderwock can
Siamat
help
violence
with things
here.
too.
There is, you know, this does mean
I
that
don't have that many things to deal with.
Shudderwalk can get her some additional action there. I think that she could have gone for Hero Power Ethereal Lackey and have multiple shots at finding Hex or Frost Shock, as well as adding that to the pool for the Shudderwalk and coin out the Shudderwalk the following turn. But it does put her at risk if she misses everything.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily have a way to deal with that and can possibly just die right away.
Yeah, he just got.
True the Claw coming out as an attack and defend.
Charge.
Drew the Claw attack, but he also protect. And Yuko still has more ways to add stats onto the board. And, without cards like Earthquake, which is a new card from Saviors of Uldum, I mean, not Pathra, Slissa, excuse me.
I needed the coin to hero power twice.
It looks like she could be in trouble here. Drew just put on a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I mean the Druid quest is kind of akin to the Shaman quest. You get extra power from all of your cards, but it doesn't require additional mana. So Yuko's able to just sort of keep firing on all cylinders while Slissa needs to balance what she's playing with the mana cost of the activation of her hero power. Okay, Life Drinker's pretty good, and that's especially good if she is setting up for Shudderwalk.
Right. So I think we can start things off with the Ethereal Lackey here.
Yeah.
Earthquake would be really nice.
Ancestral Healing isn't bad if she's looking to play out, for instance, she could play out the entire right side of her hand here, right? With Mutate is a good option.
Yeah. Lightning Storm also looks kind of appealing.
Yeah, it does stop you from being able to Shudderwalk is one of the issues. If you do Lightning Storm now, you can't Shudderwalk next turn.
Zap.
Okay.
To help clean up
All right,
stuff.
so yeah, Lightning Storm into a possible Zap, depending.
Yeah, into a Life Drinker.
Or do you-
Oh, wow, it gets the 3.
Okay, yeah, double
Where it
Life
mattered
Drinker
the
here.
most.
You get double battle cries on everything you play that turn. So it doesn't
Okay,
matter.
so now up to 23, does end up being in a much safer position going into Yuko's turn.
Yep.
That was okay.
And let's take a look at what Yuko's options are here, alongside that
Your
Druid
Shudderwock
of
doesn't
the
do double
Claw.
unless you use the coin. Your power on
Fire
it.
off that Wrath, again, because of Assyrian Tier is doubled up, so you get both effects, killing it and drawing a card.
That was mean.
Ooh, the
Oasis
Oasis
Surger.
Surger. That is, That is the like real all-star of the Druid Quest deck. It just does so much.
It feels like the reason you want to play
Yes.
that card. Obsidian Tier, you can get +2/+2 or Rush, and it just puts out
2/5/5.
5/5s. It feels like a lot more impactful than Crystal Stag for some reason, but I think it's just because the way the deck is constructed and the way you get to double dip off of that a lot more than just say Crystal Stag and that's it for healing a lot. It seems to be a much more powerful tool for Druid to climb back onto the board, or even just add stats. Because it wasn't like Yuka was behind at all. Now Slissa once again stuck in a kind of a weird position where she has to rely on Murlocs.
Dare give me 4 cost.
Gets another underbelly angler.
Okay, all right.
More.
Okay.
All right.
Order. I mean, she's getting a lot of Murlocs.
She's just turned into that Murloc Tidehunter.
All right,
She's
let's
just
play.
waiting. The Tidehunter's like, hello, friends. Hi. Hi. Thanks for coming to the party with me. Hi.
I don't think it's a zap. But the zap is kind of.
Yeah, she's very afraid of dying. There's 14 power being represented. She's at 19. There is no Druid hero power, so a singular card like Swipe would not kill her.
I'll have to overdraw here.
And we do know that there's 2 Druids with the Scythe.
Right.
There's not many direct damage cards. There's a lot more rush. There's bees. Again, another rushed minion.
Infinite with my anglers.
More bees.
So there's no charger here for Yukos. There's actually no way to generate lethal damage.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stats.
Right.
A lot
I
of
feel so
stats.
far
Right. Yeah. I mean, there can be the Druid of the Scythe, which are 4/4 rush and
Well,
taunt.
maybe Hagatha does have a place in this deck.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel
I'm also kind of a fan of using bees in this position too, because it helps clear a lot more efficiently.
Once
Right.
they get their
Bees, of course, a new card. That's
Excuse me.
just
What's it called?
bees.
There you go.
have the
That's better.
start I wanted.
And Yuko, able to utilize the bees being left over, still generates board position.
But we don't run.
Very good card. And people are thinking about even using ways to combo it on their own minions. I do think it's a little bit a frivolous use of actually having application of that card. But Druids of the Scythe, still a lot of statistics here.
Yeah, it's just a lot of damage coming in here. Clearing off these, and we see Slissa's hand, and frankly in her deck, not really much in the way of mass removal.
So where's your Earthquakes? Where's your hack? There's
I mean,
nothing.
yeah, what's Shutterwalk even gonna do here?
But more cards in the hand?
It generates a lot of resources, but if we look at what's been played so far, not much that actually impacts the board enough to deal with the situation.
Because like then the zap. doesn't help.
Particularly, she doesn't have the coin anymore. She used the coin to play that CM before.
Where do we zap? I think we only do 1 damage off the Shutterwalk.
Okay, so is there a way for her to generate Lackey? She can get Evil Miscreant into Lackey, into Earthquake, and it'll clear the board. Okay, Shutterwalk it is.
Life Drinker, Sludge Slurper, Capel Rat, Life Drinker, Questing Siamat.
Oh, that's right. It can also get
Agatha.
taunt.
Oh, she shot herself!
Shot herself. And she also didn't get the rush from the
That
Siamat.
did not go well for Slissa at all.
Nor did she get
As a
taunt.
member of the League of Evil, I feel like she got just what she deserved.
She got the worst 2 Siamat battle cries. She got taunt or she got rush. It
Yeah,
would've
no,
had a huge
this
impact.
is just lethal for Yuko here. We see
Oh,
the damage
no.
coming in, and the League of Explorers wins again.
Well, it's just 1 game. I mean,
But it happened again. It happened
I
before
think
too.
my
right. It's only 1 game. Game 1.
It's
One
true.
game
It's
one.
true. It's true.
All right. Well, I have faith that Slissa will bring it back. But more importantly, I have faith that the League of Evil will triumph.
Just like the last time that Rafam and the League of Explorers went head to head. I think what happened there was this.
Well, I believe the last
You didn't get
time
this.
we checked in, Rafam actually successfully stole Dalaran. So we will see who has the last
Well,
lap.
he stole Dalaran from Dalaran, not the League of Explorers.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Do you actually know what happens in the solo adventure for this expansion, Kibler? Are you spoiling it for us?
Didn't I tell you that I found that crystal ball artifact that allows me to see the future?
Ah.
So, yeah.
Okay, then what's our next game? What's our next game that we're going to feature on stream, Mr. Crystal Ball of the future?
Kripp and Gunner.
Wow. So it turns out Kripp and Gunner is the next match, and
Wow.
Kibler is the crystal
I
ball
can
of the
see the
future.
future.
Yeah, he totally did not get told that in his ear by the producer.
Not at all.
All right,
You're ruining my immersion.
We're checking in with Gunner, who is playing Paladin, featuring Micro Mummy, Murlocs, and Chef Nomi.
Okay,
So,
interesting. This is a look at this. I love this deck from Gunnar here. This is a tip the scales prismatic lens deck. So how this deck is looking to work is that you're hoping to prismatic lens into a cheap minion and tip the scales. So you can play tip the scales, summon a full board of Murlocs early in the game.
Yes, Tip the Scales pulls Murlocs from the deck as opposed to summon copies of it. People may be reminded of, say, Cloning Gallery from Priest that pulled, a lot of minion copies from the deck. This actually actively thins your deck, and so to compensate for it, Chef Nomi played in the deck. This is something that we even debate on Omnistone.
This is pretty cool.
And I was half joking. And it ends up being a deck that's played. However, checking on the series score, it looks like Gunnar lost the first game of the series. So a bad omen, if you will. Even though I think this deck is sweet.
I can see the future, and I think that we're going to see a game 3.
Okay.
I mean, just look at this. Look at this game as it's going right now. We got 4 Murlocs in play, Murloc War Leader in hand. Chef Nomi is
nothing.
He's just going to be there waiting to cook up dessert as the Murlocs, have their feast of Kripp.
Well. Oh, wow. Very eloquently put. Kripp already has used some of his best tempo tools, too, in Underbelly, Fence, and Vendetta. Those are really powerful ways to swing the board.
He does have that Bizarre Mugger and Ziliax in hand, both of which can have a pretty big impact here. It looks like he got a generous mummy off of, I assume, a Pharaoh Cat earlier on, which is not exactly what he's looking for.
He needs something with more impact. And remember, Kripp is playing Quest Rogue, although I kind of wonder how many times has Kripp activated the quest in any of his games so far.
Okay, where will this go?
That is actually, that's a mummy, a mech mummy, not a Murloc there. There's a prismatic lens.
This is all going
Right.
upstairs.
But I think that this is what we want to see here is
Damage.
get him.
And a trade into the 3-1.
Boom.
Yeah, so, the fact that Micro Mummy just kind of stays on the board here is still really important, just for Gunnar to get some board control.
It did unfortunately go put the buff on his War Leader, which was the minion that Kripp most wanted to kill already.
Yeah.
Okay, that Crystology is actually a pretty good draw because it makes it that much more likely that Prismatic Lens hits Tip the Scales.
Right.
Crystology.
So there's, one more Prismatic Lens, 2 Tip the Scales, and a Crystology in hand. Gets a, oh, there it is! Ooh. Tip the Scales, we're gonna see it.
Yes, and there's a lot of good Murlocs still out.
Boom.
What?
Look at that. The scales are definitely tipping in Gunnar's favor here.
How does Kripp deal with this? Doesn't have, Rogue struggles with AoE. He can't. There's no way. He's dead.
He's got Siamat, which will do something, but look at that. Look at that board.
It's a rogue. No vanish.
I mean, this is literally exactly the deck that we're talking about. It's like, okay, if somebody's going to play Tip the Scales, it's going to be this way. It's Prismatic Lens into Tip the Scales.
It's GG.
Whew. Yeah, as we hear him say, it's just GG.
There's really not much that Kripp has as options. He could try to dig for a lackey, but even then it wouldn't be enough to pick apart everything on the board.
GG, Gunnar, that was entertaining.
Siamat for, what, Divine Shield and Taunt?
Not GG yet.
Is it Rush and Wind Fury?
I mean, maybe Rush Taunt? Rush Wind Fury, okay.
Does this keep him alive?
I still think he dies,
so.
Right? There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no, it's...
well, the Bluegill.
But the 8-cost Bluegill is going to finish him off.
Yeah. There you go. And slowly but surely, the League of Explorers grabbing win after win. On stream, I still have faith in my henchmen.
Yeah, it is.
Off-stream.
It is the way of the League of Evil to sneak around and steal wins off the stream. It may look like the heroes are overcoming at every turn, and yet in the background, it seems like you guys are picking up some wins.
That's right. We always work in the shadows. Is how we operate.
You rose out of the shadows.
That's right.
Yeah,
very thematic. But will Uldum be saved? Of course, people are wondering what we're actually playing for besides really bad puns that are kind of on the nose. These players, Sonagi and Orange, is the next matchup we're going to be tuning into. They're playing for Corsair and Elgato and Hearthstone swag. So these players, of course, do want to win, which is why you might see them being really focused and trying their best.
Ooh, okay, so it looks like this is Sonagi. We saw this deck before was a sort of
Tempo Priest.
Yeah, the Tempo Priest deck. Looks like he actually goes all the way up to the Mechanical Elf. Yeah, look at that. Reborn Mechanical Elf getting humped. So
Yes.
gets a 7/7, 2 more whelps.
Wow.
This is going to be a tough game for the League of Explorers to come back. Orange is in a rough spot.
Yeah.
Druid historically does not deal well with wide boards or big minions, and this is both of those at once.
Yeah, with a sticky board presence too. Even if
Right.
you're able to get past them, the power of the board increases. So, Orange's hand is going Super Saiyan at this point, but does he have enough to clear everything? I don't think so.
He does not.
I mean, double Starfire, double Starfire and Wrath is really good though.
Yes, but if you Starfall here, what are you actually accomplishing with your Starfall, right? Like your Starfall is doing, it can kill a 7/7, but it also puts 2 more 7/7s on the board because it kills the 2 whelps. So it looks like the Starfall, would take down some of this board, but in fact ultimately leave more. There is the Oasis Surger, which can come down and give Orange a pair of 5/6s, but again, it's not really quite enough to get things done. It looks like Hidden Oasis can be a gain life plus 6/6. Yeah, he's going to start things off. The rope is burning.
Yeah, this is really challenging. And it's funny that you mentioned Keeper Steladris, but Orange just trying to use his mana crystals as efficiently as possible because he realizes, you know what? As much as I might want value, I might die if I'm not careful.
Right.
Oh, maybe this isn't correct.
Although, had he known he would have had Innervate, I think it would have been a different story.
Right.
It's pretty nuts if you think about it. Keeper Steladris with all of those options.
Right.
And Sonagi, even playing a Leroy
He's
Jenkins.
got Octosari in his hand.
Ooh.
Sonagi's deck is a work of art.
The Octosari is very interesting, given that he has Reborn mechanics or Wretched, the Wretched minion to help even summon it back. It's like, how many cards do you even really need?
I mean, you're dead ringer drawing your Octosari when you're running low on gas. One of the things that priest decks can struggle with is card draw, right? If they don't have big cleric turns. Look at this.
The Wretched Reclaimer coming in big again.
This is just a nightmare for Orange here.
I'm almost thinking like this might be a deck we see in the future being a pretty powerful archetype.
Oh, well, I mean the sort of reborn tempo priest was definitely one of the lists that was kind of on my radar for something I wanted to try.
Right.
And Sonagi has a build here that's very similar to what I was hoping to try out, and it's looking really powerful.
And it's interesting because it's a different take on resurrect mechanics that priest can really capitalize upon.
Yeah, I mean, so many sort of resurrect priest decks, they just want to play big things, and this is like, well, I am looking to play like these, Death Rattle Reborn things that I take advantage of the fact that my, I'm trying to remember, the Wretched Reclaimer, that's what that card is, can bring back these bodies like early and keep getting more of these Death Rattle effects.
Yeah, I mean, Orange is using Forbidden's Floop with the Oasis Surger to try and climb back. It's pretty solid. Is it going to get him enough?
He could. Okay, yeah, he's going to keep her into
Innervate
Starfall. So this will kill one of these and damage the other, so he can trade with the other Oasis Surgeon. But there's still just so much left on the board. There's still the 4/11 egg, the 7/9 whelp, and there's a Leroy in Sonagi's hand.
Yes. That said, he still gets more cards to play removal game. And, 7, 10, 14, 15. With Leroy is 21. He already used both more arms and extra arms. So it looks like Sonagi is 2 damage off lethal.
But,
See that correctly? Oh, wait, no, he has Snip Snap.
Snap.
Snip Snap's magnetized.
Yeah,
right.
so 8, 11, 15, 21, 23. I think that's exactly lethal, yeah.
Yes. If he just magnetizes and plays... Oh, he's just playing all of his cards? All right. Got it. Showing the hand. Orange is going to go down. Leroy Jenkins to finish it off. I haven't seen Leroy Jenkins in Priest
I don't know that it...
ever, I think.
Very, very, very rarely do we see Leroy coming down for Priest. And Orange looks a little shocked himself.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've seen Leroy in almost every class.
What happened to me?
Like, in almost every metagame, historically, except for Priest.
Well, there's no Mind Blast anymore, right? If you're playing Standard, you don't get to Mind Blast people. You got to Leroy them instead.
Yes, it's a lot more expensive to say the least.
A little bit.
Really cool from Sonagi, and I mean he might be onto something. But we're gonna go into another game to check in around the tavern. I believe we're gonna visit your old buddy Trump, the League of Explorers, up against Tio Yarson. Looks like the hunter trying to put on pressure on Dr. Boom Mad Genius, which is a tall task, but not impossible given that Trump still has cards like Zul'jin in the hand.
It looks like Trump is, in fact, playing the singleton version, but has 2 copies of Hyena Alpha, just because that card is so good.
Yeah, and if he draws 1, then it's active.
Right. It's one of the interesting things about how you build these singleton decks, right? Because do you want to always have your Dino Tamer Bran or your Zephyrus the Great be active, or do you want to try and lean a little bit more on particular cards that are very, very powerful?
Yeah, however, he is going up against a class that has the opportunity to disrupt it. People have theory crafted if bombs will mess up the duplicates, but as you can see right now, it's not.
Oh,
it's
hello!
Oh, whoa, what a draw. The Black Knight destroying enemy minion with taunt. So, you know, it's funny to me that the reason why Trump's duplicate isn't active is not because of the bombs, but because he did it to himself as Hyena Alpha. So if he draws Dino Tamer Bran, it won't be active.
All right, well, Tio Yarson has quite the hand here. The Tomb Warden.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's got the Into the Fray here as well.
Yeah, and the Scarabs that were
Buff
picked up.
things up. I wonder how big these Scarabs are already.
They should be, what, 3/3s? Because we jumped in halfway.
Yeah,
We're
so
not
we don't necessarily 100% know. Let's see if he does mouse over them.
It's likely to be the case.
For Zul'jin pretty soon.
Yeah, Into the Fray. There's a lot of spells that Trump has cast so far, though. So, yeah, the Zul'jin is still pretty powerful.
No, I should really play Deadly.
1 mana 5/5 taunts.
Ooh, that is.
I mean, people think Quest Rogue was, scary. Imagine these Scarabs coming down, but
Right,
Rat Trap does activate.
All right, well.
It was tempting to play Beta Arrow before playing.
We hear a little bit from Trump's perspective.
Yeah, I want to play as many of these as I can first.
He does have some pretty powerful tools at his disposal. He has Hunter's Mark and like Baited Arrow. He has Gladiator's Longbow to help just answer this 5/5.
The Mark Shot giving him a little bit of extra value as well if he does decide. I mean, he could use Mark Shot into Baited Arrow on the 5/5, trade the 6/6 into the 7/6. He has not yet drawn Deadly Shot, so that's not in the pool for the Zul'jin.
Minion.
All plays that all these plays have merit. So
He only has look he's gonna go with the Hunter's Mark plus Baited Arrow probably.
also,
Yeah, he can actually full clear the board using the Gladiator's Longbow and the Rat here as well, and get down the pressure plate if he so chooses.
yeah, I don't think the 2 damage really matters here very much. So I think I like setting up the pressure plate. It makes Zul'jin a little better in terms of getting that mana out of the way. Although, I wonder if in his mind he wants to control the secret a little bit more, because it is his last secret in hand. He could draw another one, though.
If he does have Subject 9, there's only one more secret in his deck in the Freezing Trap. We look at the deck list. And the 2 Hyena Alphas do need a little bit of help to get online.
Where's good enough?
Tio, going for the delivery drone. I think perhaps one of his best cards that he can start getting is Clockwork Goblin, because he shuts off Dino Tamer Bran and Zephyrus the Great.
I don't know if that deck will play Brawl also. I didn't see it game 1. And he has Warpath.
Ooh,
So
gigantic. Oh my God, the magnetic of the huge Ziliacs on the.
And he already used Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, that is just.
Gonna hit his stuff.
That is so big. Diamond Trainer Brand.
It's not active.
Not online. Not online. All right, Zul'jin coming
the
down.
The Hunter's Mark does exist, and he has other spells played. Bait Arrow.
The face first. That is not good. Oh, but he does have Double Unleash the Beast that's coming out.
Okay.
That's pretty big. Hunter's Pack.
And they are green, which indicates that he hasn't killed it by accident. Almost, though. Explosive Trap. All the secrets being played again. Well.
That guy is just getting abused.
Nice. So he should be able to clear it off, but he is going to give 18 armor.
That is unfortunate. Interesting Hunter's Pack that Trump did get, though. There's the Web Spinner that can reduce the cost of his Subject 9 to just 0 mana.
I'm not overdrawing.
And he has a lot of resources. Wow.
Right.
Opponent's down to 5 cards in hand, so
I mean, you know, it just seems like even without the singleton versions, singleton power cards like Dino Tamer Brand and Zephyrus, Hunter deck's doing just fine.
Yeah, I mean, the you know, Zul'jin obviously still just a very powerful card, especially when you've already cast both halves of Unleash the Beast. And you know, a lot of value generation with the Hunter's pack as well.
That was a way that the Hunters were taking out the Warriors prior to Saviors of Uldum.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, still left for Trump in this game, you know, is that Dino Tamer Brand getting a King Crush along with Zephyrus the Great at some point, but will he be able to keep up with Omega Assembly?
I thought I would have had 4 secrets in.
That helps a lot. Boom Reaver and Omega Devastator, some great cards, especially if he has big taunts left in his deck that we're not sure of yet. You know, we haven't seen like Armageddillo. Boom Reaver summoning Armageddillo would be really sick.
One of them does get sniped. And we did just get an update that this is the final game that is going on in this round, so we're going to learn the results of how things stand once this concludes.
Trump has 10 cards left in his deck and still no way to activate Dino Tamer Brand. Not that I think he would even necessarily play it in this position. Although, I do find it amusing that he keeps finding Gladiator's Longbow off of his
I mean, that's
pack.
pretty powerful.
It's very effective. I mean, it seems like Trump's on the value train.
Yep. Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Very unlike him. That being said, Tio still has some really good tempo plays.
Yep.
Like, what if he just like Boom Reavers in this spot?
Got in there because of mass.
Yeah, I mean, there's still it's a tough situation. There's the Boom Reaver.
And like, what does he pull out? Okay, Faceless Lurker, not the most amazing card.
But not bad. I mean, this is still just like a lot of bodies here. There's the bomb.
Drawn. Well, that shuts off the second bomb from messing with the, oh wait, the hyena.
Where are you?
Yep.
Boy, yeah.
There's still the hyenas left in the deck.
Yes, I would want a freezing trap.
Okay, how can Trump deal with this? Well, if he can eliminate the threats to play Freezing Trap.
Yeah, he can attack Mark Shot Freezing Trap. However, there's still the opportunity of any kind of rush minion coming down. Makes the Freezing Trap a little bit awkward for him.
Yeah, that's right. And you know that your opponent played, what, Omega Assembly? So he has like a mech that he can play that has rush and give that Boom Reaver some freedom.
I know he plays Town Crier in his deck. Ziliax and 2 Amani Warbear.
Trump's stopping to think. I feel like he may have pulled the trigger a little early on this Unleash the Beast if he wanted to go for Freezing Trap. He could have played a little bit more spell-oriented instead.
Yeah, specifically having a minion that survives on the board means that the rush of anything.
Yeah, alternatively, he could have played Mark Shot, Freezing Trap, and Pressure Plate, right? And then just like keep his board free of minions. No rush can go in, and then Tio is forced to like either activate Pressure Plate or just let his Boom Reaver freeze.
And he chose to go with the Pressure Plate
and also
here.
Everything has rush.
Okay.
That was the proper way to think of things. Everything has rush.
Here, everything has rush. Okay.
Yeah, and here's like the worst part. Tio has like the best card to Freezing Trap.
Right. Well, he did choose not to play Freezing Trap. He did play the Pressure Plate here.
It's true.
So
So maybe the mind game there will work in his favor.
Right.
But I wonder if he plays he must play Restless Mummy. Maybe he doesn't. I feel
All
like
right, Tio. What's he gonna do to respond to all the threats of the secrets? Vicious Scrap Hound, no snipe. Attack with the Scrap Hound and sees Freezing Trap, but obviously we know that's not played. He's got it, so now he's free to attack with Boom Reaver to the face. Should pretty much narrow it down to Rat Trap and Pressure Plate.
I believe he knows the Rat Trap from the Zul'jin.
You're right.
So he already saw the Rat Trap triggered, so he knows there's another one.
These turns can be fairly complicated and nuanced with the sequencing, so you do see players tend to rope it at the very end. And now back over to Trump.
Secret Keeper. Not the most impressive. Still just a handful of cards in his deck. He has less than 10 cards in his deck and cannot
Bran would actually have been pretty
Bran,
decent
yeah.
in this spot. Hunter's Mark, okay.
All right.
Or even just Kill Command.
We doesn't have a beast right now.
Yeah, it's true. So you can Hunter Mark's hero power, kill the Boom Reaver. Oh, he's going to
attack
save
into
it.
Right.
Fair enough. There's bigger fish to fry, perhaps, in his mind. It might get to the point where Trump could legitimately just tracking to remove the Hyena Alpha number 2.
Well, I think he's worried about fatigue. Yeah, I think,
Oh, that's
I think
also a good point.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play the tracking
He
because
has almost no
right,
cards in his deck.
he has 7 cards to 5, so if he does play tracking, he is behind in fatigue instead of ahead, and he's so far behind in life total.
I kind of want to see what Zephyrus the Great can offer in those kinds of positions. You know, we see Zephyrus, which is a new legendary card, my favorite card from the set. I'm pretty sure many people around the world agree with me.
Yeah.
It says Battlecry, wish for the perfect card, assuming your deck has no duplicates. The perfect card, what does it mean? It could be classic or basic cards that is offered you that's supposed to be ideal for the situation, but what does it do in fatigue scenarios? I wonder.
I believe if you are like low in your deck, low on resources, it can give you Jiraxxus.
Whoa, beat down.
Ooh,
I think
man.
that is a distinct possibility.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Deadly Shot being picked up, but it's not guaranteed, I believe. Oh, it can be if you use your Hunter's Mark, but I guess he's just going to do this.
And this lets him play the Scarlet Web Weaver.
Yes, reduce the cost of a random beast in your
And
hand
now
by
a
5.
Zero cost subject 9.
Yeah, so
boom.
Very similar to the Arcane Tyrant
Yeah, he's
plays.
exactly.
Back in the day, Arcane Tyrant was a 5-mana 4/4. If you played a spell that cost 5 or more, you could play for free. It was a really powerful tool for Druid back in the day with Ultimate Infestation, but now Tio has to respond to it with, you know, a lot of juice still left, I believe.
Yeah, he's got a lot of tools, and frankly, just look at the life totals.
Are you kidding
It's 78 to 10.
Yeah, fatigue tends to favor one player in that
A
scenario.
little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, and you know, even if you're like 3 cards more in your deck than your opponent, being like 50 health difference
Right.
makes up for that fatigue difference significantly.
Yeah, three cards, unless you're at really, really high life, doesn't end up being that much life, right?
Right.
It's like if it's like what 3, 4, then 5, you're
Right.
at 10, you're dead.
Yep. I mean, that's 4
And
turns
there's
of fatigue.
even more armor right there.
And every
in
little
the
point
face.
matters a lot
Right.
here, too.
That might
Trump does not have life gain, too.
He drew a Hyena Alpha. There it is.
only
But how long did it take to get Bran online? I mean, Bran here is okay, but even if King Crush hit 9 times in a row, it still wouldn't be enough, Kibler.
Yeah, a lot of work. He is
5/9.
not that glorious a king.
He would have to hit 10 times because he's an 8/8 and there's 80 life.
Better than
And I think that
those things.
Trump is dead before he can attack with King Crush 10 times just for
Yeah.
fatigue. He has 6 cards in his deck. And is it 6 life?
This Faceless Lackey, by the way, I believe is a 5/5, so he comes out as a 5/10 taunt, Ancient of War status. For all you Druid fanatics out there. Proud Defender, just more stats.
There's the damage Stegaton too, which does have Rush. So can use that to take down some of this board as well.
Yes.
But yeah,
Just
82 life for Tio here.
Why was I?
And climbing. Because
should've
with
played
the
that.
Armor Smith and the taunt, it makes it difficult. And Tio getting like 1 extra damage with the Armor Smith, it does matter.
Right,
Brand's, like,
6 life.
targeted removal. I need
And
to
you know, it is very clear to Tio what these secrets are now. It's Rat Trap, Prisoner
guess
Plate,
that's
right?
why it is.
He's made every other action that can trigger a secret. So he should know for sure that he just doesn't want to play a spell, doesn't want to play 3 cards.
Zephyrus, my boy, will allow for the comeback.
Yeah, we hear Trump saying, I need Zephyrus, my boy.
Yeah, and you know, what
mean,
does Zephyrus do?
If Zephyrus gives you Jiraxxus, you can win this game.
I just have to make sure to. It's
the perfect card.
It is the perfect card for the situation in terms of giving you a chance, but I don't know if it'll
it'll also
win
offer
him the
healing.
game. It's hard to
I
say,
hope it
but
doesn't offer me lay on hands. It knows
that extra
how
life
to
game
use
would be a
anyway.
big difference.
Yep, Tio running low on time here with the rope. Oh, look at this. He decides, I don't care about trading your minions. These have rush, but I'm just gonna keep them to attack you. I like this play a lot.
That's right.
It
so
is brand time though.
crack the whip, clear off as much as you can of the board. But is he just dead anyways? A10. trades into it. Kill, kill, kill.
No, he can,
it's close.
he can kill everything except for Armorsmith if he wants. That does leave him in a really awkward position against the Kaboom. The Kaboom too. And does just give Tio that much more armor. But you know, you're at 5 life. You don't have that many options.
Tio just has to draw 3 more points of damage or get zap. Shield slam would probably kill most things in this game, I'd say, at this point.
You got a Wrathguard over there, take 57.
Yeah. All right, Tio doesn't have to worry about too much. Quite frankly, he could probably AFK and still most likely win this game unless Zephyr's offered the perfect card. What is he going to do? Wow, despite it being what feels like to be fairly one-sided, the players are still very carefully planning out all their turns here.
All right, there is Brawl to clear off the board.
And, you know, Pressure Plate won't really activate, and even if it does, wow. All right, Armorsmith always wins the Brawl. Kit Kat, you watching?
Does go down to the Pressure Plate, though. And then Proud Defender can come down.
Yes, only 2 cards being played, so Rat Trap's not activated.
Right, and then there's
Oh,
Zephyrus.
here we go.
Okay, so one of the interesting things with Zephyrus is that it looks at like the game state through a variety of angles, and when it picks the best card. Some of it is some of the optimization of playing Zephyrus is convincing it like the sort of correct thing to give you. One of the ways you do that is if you want something for next turn, you want to spend your mana now, right? If you're okay, he's going to Zephyrus with 8 mana floating. Will he get a Jiraxxus?
A
Tyrion. So one of the things I was curious about. So if he played the Zephyrus plus Pressure Plate, if you played Pressure Plate, Freezing Trap, Bow, and then played Zephyrus, it's going to think, okay, well, I could give you a 1 mana thing for this turn, or a card for next turn. Because he has all his mana available right now,
It's offering him 8 or less.
it prioritizes something for this turn.
Right. Interesting.
So I am curious what the offer would be if he had spent all his mana first.
Yeah, is it like another Zul'jin?
Because I don't think Tyrion's enough.
Oh wait, no, it's only basic.
It's only classic and basic.
Right.
So the sort of big thing that it could give you in this spot, if it's prioritizing next turn, I think is Jiraxxus.
Fair enough. I'm reaching really deep into the basic and classic cards, and I can't really think of much else. I mean, it would be like Jiraxxus or like Ysera or something else that like can generate huge value.
It was tempting to go for the Jiraxxus line. It would have been tough though to organize the mana to work out.
And I think Trump even just in retrospect is agreeing with a lot of what you're saying, Kibler here. And you know, Tyrion is great, fantastic card. No one's going to argue against its usefulness.
And now he's actually just dead because the rush plus not having the freezing trap down does mean that finally Tio does pick up the win and take down Trump in a win for the League of E.V.I.L.
All right, so League of E.V.I.L on the board, and I believe that was our final match of this round. So we'll tally up the scores and see who is able to strike blood for round number 2. But in the meantime, we're going to take a break for a few minutes. So when we come back, we're going to check in on the scores for round number 2 and get the final round of the Saviors of Uldum Inn-vitational underway. Welcome back, everybody, to the Saviors of Uldum Invitational. We have concluded round 2 of 3 of this fated duel between the League of E.V.I.L and the League of Explorers, featuring myself, Rodan, and Brian Kibler. If you can't guess what team we're on, you probably need a bigger pair of glasses than I have. Kibler, how have you been enjoying everything so far?
It's been really cool, getting an opportunity to see how these players are using all the new cards from the new set. We've seen Taunt Warrior, we've seen the brand Dino Tamer, Singleton Hunter, all kinds of cool stuff so far, and I really want to see what else people are working with.
All right, so perhaps we can check in on what happened and transpired in round number 2, who got the edge, who was able to come out victorious, and more importantly, who was right in their Choose Your Champion selections, as Kibler and I did have the opportunity to figure it out. And, well, would you believe it or not, Kibler was right on Alistraza, but once again, we see a similar situation where 5 winners for the League of Explorers and 6 for the League of E.V.I.L.
And I believe you were also correct in your prediction of Pathra winning. So I think that does give the League of E.V.I.L the first leg up in this battle.
I mean, I just had a feeling. I knew Pathra was going up against an amateur rookie player like Surrender, who has never had a tournament accomplishment in his life.
It's been literally months since he won Grandmaster. Not even months, weeks.
It's been days, okay, since his last tournament victory over the best players in Hearthstone. But League of E.V.I.L takes a very marginal lead and will look to stay that way. But round 3, we have a lot more Hearthstone to be played.
We do. Yeah, we do have one final round ahead of us, and that not much time left to play here. Not much time left for you all at home to pre-order the Saviors of Uldum bundle. The set releases tomorrow, so if you haven't pre-ordered by then, that is your absolute last chance.
I mean, it is not. We have less than a day before it releases. Usually we have these expansions drop sometime in the morning, and hopefully is able to be able to get everybody's pre-orders in time. So make sure to check it out. There's an 80-pack bundle with Druid Elise skin as well as a card back. And also a 50-card bundle, or buy both if...
50 pack, not 50 cards.
Sorry, 50.
You get way more than 50 cards. You get 300 cards. All right, well, we are ready to jump into round number 3. Let's take a look at what those matchups will be.
So we have BoarControl versus Gunner, Arjuru versus Alistraza, Sequinox versus Trump, Sonagi versus Tomatos, Fujitora versus Orange, Plagiat versus RDU, Tio versus Surrender, Slissa versus Tesdey, Pathra versus Nightmare, Kripp versus Yuko, and finally Snail Arg with his Mogu Cultist Rogue up against Lambyseries. What's going to change? What is going to stay the same? But more importantly, who is going to win the Choose Your Champion / League of E.V.I.L and League of Explorers? There's prizes on the line. There's glory at stake. And I'm going with my main man. I'm convinced by the Temple Priest, Sonagi. This guy has been tearing it up. I'm a firm believer in the reborn Death Rattle Temple Priest. And Kibler, I gotta say, you were predicting it, and we've seen it on stream, and Sonagi's been executing really well. That deck looks fierce.
It does look really good. And I'm gonna go with a player who's playing what looks to be like the sweetest deck that we've seen so far, and that's Gunner. He's going up against BoarControl this round, who is clearly a very fierce competitor, one of the members of the Grandmasters League in the Europe region. And will be tough competition for Gunner, but I believe in the fish folk.
That's right. And, we saw him take the win on stream.
He did.
With some pretty dominant performance there. And honestly, I think that the Murloc Paladin does have even more life than we're giving it credit for, because perhaps people are just memeing a little bit too much and trying to play with all the new cards of the set. We did get word that we're going to hop into the first match momentarily, and I believe we're going to be featuring an HCT mainstay and also part of the HGG team for Singapore in Sequinox, who's going up against Value Town Mayor Trump. So, we've seen all kinds of priests, but this is a different kind of priest.
Okay, this is Quest Singleton Priest. Sequinox is playing the Activate the Obelisk quest, but is also playing one-ofs in order to enable Zephyrus the Great. There's no Singleton card for priest in this set. There's, no Raza, no neutral Reno like there used to be. He is playing Singleton just for Zephyrus, and perhaps just for the memes.
And Brightwing. I mean, you must be really happy.
I mean, I do like me a Brightwing. Brightwing, always likes to make friends. So do I.
It's true. For people who are wondering why that is the case, the classes for the League of Explorers get the Singleton class support card. Right. So, Bran, Reno, Elise, and Sir Finley, all for the Druid Paladin. hunter and mage class respectively.
Sequinox has the mighty combo of Akonai Soul Priest plus the Sandhoof Water Bearer, where you can kill one of your own minions every turn at the end of your turn, or just kill yourself.
Great combo.
Radiance, actual radiance. All right, there's a snake trap.
Yep, we've seen the snake trap a lot. We've seen
This-
all the kinds
this
of
is, this card is so powerful. The Sandhoof Water Bearer, boop, heals that back up. Four points toward that quest completion.
I know. And, you know, people were talking about the reward from the quest priest, which gives you the ability to either to restore 3 health, which is already pretty good, but if it's a minion that you're targeting, you give it +3/+3. I know, Kibler, your caption was with like 7 H's.
I played a bit of this deck, a bit of the Quest Priest, not the specific version that Sequinox was playing during the Theory Crafting stream, and it can do some really powerful things. And that Water Bearer is, in my opinion, one of the most important cards for the style of deck because it is able to progress your quest, it's able to protect your board, it's able to give you board development. It's just so good. And while it may seem like the Henge Clan Shade Quill there, you know, oh, it's got a drawback, well, if you heal your opponent, that also progresses your quest.
That's right, so restore health, period, which means it could be friendly or enemy. I mean, look at how much he wants to finish the quest. He's even playing Radiance.
Right.
The new card that was added to the basic set to replace Mind Blast, rotate the Hall of Fame. People are saying it was one of the worst
Unplayable.
cards of
And
all
yet,
time.
Here it is.
Yes.
In the deck for Sequinox.
The first expansion that we get to see with Radiance. Is this a playable card in a deck? We'll see.
Should be freezing, I think. Should be freezing.
Sequinox looking for the Ziliax. Doesn't get the heal immediately, but gets the tempo.
Does trigger the freezing trap, but that is a
you're
rush
right.
minion. So no problem there. And yep, gonna send that to face. Guarantee he gets the heal from the Water Bearer on the Shade Quill. Taking that quest up more.
I like it.
6 out of 15.
Well done. And Ziliax can still come back on the next turn. Awaken the Obelisk, 7 out of 15.
It's also this weird situation, you know, Trump has these 3 snakes. He knows there's a Ziliax in hand. It's like, and the quest is there ticking up. It's like, do you even want to attack?
Yeah.
You just want those to sit there and do nothing? Like,
Right, but you can't really do nothing to advance your gameplay. And
Right,
Hero
it's-
power naturally feeds into it.
It's just this awkward position where, you know, attacking the face means that Ziliax advances the quest attacking a minion. All right, well, you can heal those minions. There's the Water Bearer that's going to heal things too.
Explosive.
These are just kind of a liability for Trump.
Explosive snipe. What's it?
Sequinox trying to recall something for his stream, but you can see that he's actually covering some of the best cards yet to come, including Siamat Katrina Muerte, which revives a minion that died this game. It looks like he even has an Archivist Elysiana in the deck. I mean, he went the full distance for
He is
control.
going deep.
And also the new Plague card, which silences and then destroy all minions on the battlefield.
He's trying to keep that on the down low. He's hiding it behind himself.
Yeah, in case, you know, snipers are trying to get at him. It's like, well, you don't know it's in my deck.
There's the Zephyrus. That is the entire reason for being singleton.
I mean, he doesn't need it right now.
Right.
That's the thing. He can, you know, people can look at it and say like, yeah, you can get the best card right immediately, but try to find the right timing for Zephyrus, assuming you're not just like about to die, is often what makes this card exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
I also appreciate that Psychonauts has kept his round scores on the far right to kind of keep us updated. It seems like the deck's had okay success, winning 1, losing 1. Which maybe means that Singleton Priest isn't as bad as we thought it is. Trump, a little peek into his hand. He also has Zephyrs, but guess what? It's not active because he plays 2 hyenas. Trump!
Trying to max his value from those hyenas, but it is coming back to bite him once again.
Wait, you're saying Trump's decisions would come back to bite him later on?
Just that this game will take pretty long.
Well,
A little too on the nose.
Siamat being picked up here, but looks like Trump's gonna favor the Unleash the Beast. And just trying to fight back for any kind of board position he can, but it's like he said, you know, even if you damage your own minions, your opponent can like heal it with like a circle of healing. So you have to be very mindful of it. But at the same time, maybe that's just what happens. You just can't ignore it.
Katrina Muerte is the draw.
There's another Unleash.
Some good stuff's died, right? We've had the Sandhoof.
She can't really do anything.
He can also just trade and possibly get back the Shade Quill, advance his quest a little bit with the Death Rattle here.
with this.
So yeah, right now so far there's Deathwing and the Water Bearer that have died. So by trading here, you have a reasonably high chance to get one of the high stat minions, 2 out of 3, and there's one of them.
I mean, you could unleash the beast.
The other duplicate card.
Oh, Trump.
I mean, it's a Highlander deck, so I don't think...
I mean, I totally get his logic in that the hyena has a lot more tempo implications early game if you get the secret up, and then you're able to summon the 2 hyenas. It's just that, well, this happens every now and then.
Well, you're also playing a deck that doesn't have much in the way of card draw, right? So it's not like you can dig through your deck to find your non-duplicate cards.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people would play 2 copies of, say, like Doomsayer and Reno Mage, something like that, right? Because it's something that you really wanted to have in the early game, give you twice as likely a chance of being able to combine it with your freeze effects and such. But you also have Acolyte of Pain, you have Arcane Intellect. In Hunter, you have exactly tracking to find more.
Yeah. Which, incidentally, would probably be the best card to help activate his other cards, because it's very cheap and also helps get maybe the exact card he needs.
Well, see what he's gonna. Yes, heal the opposing face. Let's get that online.
Katrina Muerte summoning back another minion that Trump can't exactly answer.
A mistake.
Equinox very cheekily implying that it was a mistake to heal Trump, but of course we know it was extremely intentional.
He hasn't even casted his second unleash.
What can Trump even do? I feel like his deck's a sitting duck. 2 of his cards literally don't work.
Yeah, he is in a really rough spot here. I mean, Hunter typically is not very good when it falls far behind, and you're about as far behind as you can get against this Katrina Morte who survived 2 turns.
Right.
A quest that's on the verge of completion.
We saw how important the brand was the game that Trump played against Kripp, and he needed that 8/8 to just keep pushing damage. He has no answer to Katrina Muerte. If he did, Katrina Muerte would go down to the King Crush.
Oof. Oof.
So there's a chance.
Okay, so Sequinox maybe starting to account for like, well, if I can set up a position to have Zephyrs maybe give me lethal, that's an opportunity. If you set yourself within, fireball range, kill command range, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, deck, I know the tracker's a bit too long.
Still a ways away.
Shrink it later. No.
I mean, he can actually also, one of the key things, once you actually complete your quest, it resets your hero power, right? So,
yes,
he has the ability to, if he just wants to heal face, it ends up triggering the quest. He sees, okay, this is not freezing trap, could be explosive trap, which is what he's testing for now. And yes, there is an explosive trap. So now he could heal. Yep, heal the Katrina Morte.
Yes.
Triggers the quest, turns on Obelisk Eye. He can heal the Cairn here, give it +3/+3, and heal it for 3.
And play a second Cairn.
And play another Cairn here as a 7/8 Cairn, another Cairn.
And that summons back another minion too.
Oh my God, this is just a mauling here from Zequinox.
Summons back the Sandhoof Water Bear. And now Trump is in
There's a Zul'jin that does not
trouble.
do nearly enough.
Because I can proc freezing with this.
Yeah.
Unleash the beast only cast.
I mean, it does unleash the beast twice.
Did you even cast it a second
It plays explosive trap.
Oh, too sure. Anyway,
Yeah, this is looking like a last-ditch effort. The final stand of Trump.
Oh, I did cast twice.
And we also get to probably see what we were talking about, which is Zephyrus challenging everything. Although, I mean, this is some good stuff so far.
Wing blasted, your own guy.
Okay, another secret. 4 secrets on the field so far.
Explosive, freezing, pressure plate.
Yeah, it's Zequinox. Explosive trap, freezing trap, pressure plate. Okay.
And there's one more.
Is it? Oh yeah, there is one more.
Maybe a rat trap? Oh no, rat trap's in
It's
the
in
hand.
Or maybe it's
Snake trap.
All right.
Is that a
Yeah.
way? So okay, let's say we use Dex to proc.
So Trump can eliminate a few of the minions, a couple of the minions actually.
Yeah, but every single one of these minions, like, okay, you killed one big minion, and now these are 2 7/8s here because of the hero power.
Yes.
And you can use the Ziliax to pop the freezing trap.
Is it better just to maybe go for the lethal?
Well, if you attack with if you attack with your smaller Cairn, pop freezing trap, then you can attack for 10. You're just shy of lethal with Zephyrus for something, right? There's no
like deal 8 damage immediately to your opponent.
No, you can get fire. It could give you Power Blast for next turn.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if Zephyrus can do that, right?
It can.
Okay, cool.
It will prioritize giving you the ability to kill your opponent right now if there's anything that does it.
Does it work?
He's gonna do it.
Can, right? Because it's classic, right?
Well, but it doesn't know about the secrets too. So it will give you some combination. Wind Fury. Oh, Wind Fury.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, Wind Fury is lethal.
Wind Fury is lethal.
Wow.
Zephyrus is smarter than we are.
I was thinking the Pyro Blast. The Gorehowl was definitely an interesting choice, but I mean.
Zephyrus is just much smarter than we are.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, rank 25 casters, but rank 1 legend Zephyrus.
Yeah, it could have been like Blessed Champion 2 or something like that.
Yeah, that's why this card is awesome.
Oh, but the pressure plate though. Oh, the pressure plate!
The pressure plate!
No! Oh no! What a mistake!
What
Zephyrus
a disaster!
I was just Zephyrus can't see the secrets. Apparently, we forgot about them too.
Oh, wow!
No. Oh, is Trump back in this game after that?
It's okay.
Oh,
Second
wow.
No one saw that.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
worry. There are not 15,000 people watching. You get your Wind Fury 10 power minion pressure plated.
Oh, he's hiding his face.
I mean, it's not like it was literally face up from the Sultan Battle. You saw it.
Ooh, not a good look for the League of Evil.
Baited by Zephyrus.
You know, it is one of those iconic moments where the villains get too overconfident and then end up sabotaging
they're going
themselves.
into their soliloquy. It's like, yes, I shall destroy you. I shall play Wind Fury on my. Oh no!
When the information was right there, they could have stopped it the entire time.
So yeah, if he just,
yes, I think this game might go the opposite direction
If he just
now.
played Radiance first, he might, or like played. Well, if he played Radiance first,
yeah, he had a chance.
Maybe
to play
one of the
around
other minions dies. Yeah,
he had a Northshire Cleric. Even,
he could have
right?
played Northshire Cleric. Yeah, it was a weird spot. All right.
Oh, this is funny. The
Mass
Snake
Hysteria.
Trap, which works with the Leok to buff all the small snakes. And then now, everything's attacking each other. Wow. Okay, we have a game on our hands.
Yeah, we do.
You know, Psychonauts doing it because, again, recognizing what's really important, which is exposure and screen time, and more importantly, getting to the front page of social media.
Yeah.
Is it really that strong? I would like to think of like one of the better ones.
All right. Well, Trump really still needs to find that that Hyena Alpha in order to turn on that Bran and Zephyrus that are both in his hand.
Otherwise, he just has a 3/2 and a 2/4 in his hand.
Okay, next time I should just trust in Zephyrus and just go for it. Okay.
Maybe we can get a look at Trump's hand here. There it is. Ooh, he did pick up tracking. So tracking is actually pretty big. If he does tracking and find one of those.
Oh my god, I messed up the mainstream though.
Oh, he's gonna Hunter's Pack. Okay, finds Highmane, Rat Trap, and a weapon. All right, well.
Right. Okay. At least now we are
Get
more clear that
tracking.
it's actually a perfect card. I guess.
I still like tracking here. I really want to try and turn on my.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree.
Wow, is he just? This is just classic Trump. He just wants all the value. He's like, I can't play this Highmane until I copy it.
Well, the thing is, he had the opportunity to go for tempo play too, right? Still with tracking, he could have found something that fits the mana curve a little better than just hero power.
Or just play the Highmane.
Or just play
alongside it.
Actually,
too.
you're right. Or just play the Highmane.
Or snipe at red. Could be snipe at red, I think.
Wait, he can discover a singleton card from Trump's hand with Madame Lazul and use that.
He can Lazul into
the
Dragon Tramer Brand. Or Zephyrus, yeah.
Yeah, there's a Zephyrus in the hand.
That's hilarious. There's not a freezing trap up anymore. There's a snipe. Okay.
And then he can buff it with the hero power.
Yep. This is a big
swing.
Yeah.
Big swing. He's gonna gain at least 6 life, with the upside of a lot more too. Dude, that's so funny. Trump can't play his Zephyrus or his Dino Tamer Brand, and then because of that, there's a time for Sequinox to eventually play Madame Lazul and get a copy of that card. He's more of a singleton deck than Trump is.
That's pretty funny.
The irony of this situation is so palpable.
Right, marked shot. And what does he
I
find?
can copy the code later.
I guess we can't just bring up that easily, what he's looking at, unless we just moved over to his stream entirely. Because we are using these players' perspectives directly from their stream. This isn't a typical production where we actually have their feed directly to us. We're pulling it from their streams.
Oh.
Well, so the funny thing is, Akanai Hero Power, once you've completed the quest, does not work.
Right.
So you can't like Akanai plus Hero Power your opponent's guy in Circle of Healing like you could before. Because if you Hero Power your opponent's, say, high main, it becomes big. It gets +3/+3 and then takes the damage, so it actually just gains attack and does not take damage at all.
Yeah.
Important to note.
Counterbalances each other.
Yeah. There is a Holy Ripple, though. He could play Holy Ripple into Circle. Oh, let's see it. Let's see it. Yes!
Oh, he
Dino Brandon.
That's so funny. He's like, oh, wow, I actually do have to. Oh, man, I was kind of hoping for Zephyrs, but this is also really funny.
I mean, 8 bursts for 7 mana?
And you said Priest doesn't have any class singleton cards. Have you forgotten the core identity of Priest, which is to play other people's cards? Yep, Divine Hymn. Looks like he wants to survive for a little bit longer. Taking that extra healing.
Still has not found it. Still has not found his ability to play his own singleton card. He's going to get Diamond Hammer Brand out of this game before he finds his own way to use it.
I'm almost convinced that you're 100% correct in the situation, that tracking to find it so you can play Diamond Hammer Brand and pressure his opponent is the play. Your opponent just showed a very weak turn. He played a 3-mana 3/2. And just healed.
Yes.
He didn't do anything.
Right.
So either he's challenging, he's either challenging you to extend onto the board, or he doesn't have a good hand. And you know that a couple of his cards are like Hand Bloodhoof that's been returned.
Yeah,
so
you nearly have lethal here too. Like if you actually hit the alpha, and you don't even have to like take it, right? It just has to be out of the deck.
Yes. You can pick something else. Pretty decent chance, given that Trump's more than halfway through his deck now. From his hesitation, doesn't seem like he had the instant snap call decision that's very fast to make.
I mean, this is Trump we're talking about. I don't know that those exist.
Finds Baited Arrow. I guess it didn't.
All right. Well.
Yeah, Dino Tamer Brand nor Zephyrs are highlighted in orange.
Did not have the opportunity to find one.
He needs the Plague.
Does improve his chances. Yeah, we hear him say Plague.
This is what Psychonauts set up for, but it's a low percentage chance. Barista Lynchen.
I mean, he can use he could use the Dino Tamer Brand to trade.
Probably gonna go for the Akanai. Not clear.
No, it does not work. Oh, it's Akanai Circle. Yeah.
Yes.
Getting sniped. Yeah, it does not quite clear. This actually is, arguably. Oh no, the rat!
Is that lethal potentially?
Well, if he does find that,
he's only 5 damage off.
There's a bow. Yep, bow does close it. Right, that is 15 damage. So the singleton deck from Trump without ever actually drawing.
I don't understand. I mean, it took a giant error, a game-defining error from Sequinox. I don't understand, man. I do not understand. But at the end of game 1, once again, Trump is victorious.
Yeah. We are seeing good triumph over evil as it should.
Yes, as many plot devices tend to work in the story of good versus evil, somehow when the odds are stacked against good, something miraculous and quite confounding about the villain happens, and then good triumphs for now. Let's head into our next match. I believe Fujitora from Turkey will be featured this time around. We've seen him compete in WESG and other tournaments of the like. He's going up against Orange, a member of the League of Explorers.
It looks like Orange has switched up his deck prior to this round because, actually, no, he could just have the quest up and we can't see it.
I believe
he probably does.
He probably does, given that he's playing some choose one cards.
Right. Yeah. Seeing the Panther in play there does lead me to think probably still playing quest.
And the waypoint, which lets you choose, discover choose one card.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, over there on the left.
Yes. If you guys aren't acclimated with the art, you can go ahead and check out playhearthstone.com, which has all of the library of card sets, which is a recent addition to the website.
Ooh, just Tempo Oasis Surger into Innervate to progress the quest. This is one of the interesting things about Oasis Surger, and this is one of the reasons I think it is definitely better than the Stag, because it's actually just good on its own.
Right.
It's just like a pair of 3/3 rushers is like a lot better than a 4/4 rusher, and obviously the upside of 5/5s. Ooh, this is Anka the Buried though with a really powerful hand.
Yeah. Change each Death Rattle minion in your hand into 1/1s that cost 1.
And he just drew the Anubisath Warbringer too, so he can even coin that out this turn to give +3/+3 when it dies to
other
everything
minions.
else in his hand.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff here.
It's going to be the Warbringer, I think.
I mean, all of these are pretty good options. I like the Warbringer because of what it sets up in the future.
Right. Your next turn, once this trades, gets to be 3/1 cost 4/4s, all with powerful Death Rattles.
Jeez, but everything is active now with the
And look, he has the Keeper of the Grove if he wants it to silence that.
Ah.
You know, is that what he wants to silence? Does he want to silence something else that comes down?
It doesn't have the mana to do it.
It's going to double nourish. Okay. This is a pretty big risk, I think, from Orange here, leaving that up.
What is he hoping to get with the 2 mana remaining? It's not like he can even hero power.
He did pick up that Anubisath Defender here. Just important note, this is game number 3 between these two players. So this is a crucial game.
On both sides.
Yeah.
Gel bakalım Nami biraz seni ünlü
And we
edelim.
saw just how close the
Right.
overall standings are between the two leagues here. So, a single win can possibly be enough to put things over the top for either of these teams. And then look at this. Whew.
Witchwood Piper draws the lowest cost card, but it's not actually the best tempo play because it uses up 4 of his 6 mana crystals. I think he probably wants to hold on to the Blatant Decoy. That is a disruption card from Saviors of Uldum, which summons the lowest cost minion from both players' hand. People look at it as an opportunity to perhaps, maybe corner a Mechathune type situation.
It's also pretty powerful if, we just saw his Witchwood Piper draw Witchwood Piper. His deck is just full of expensive minions. So that means his decoy is going to summon generally just some big thing, which probably has big death
rogue.
Kola bitti biz de bitiyoruz. Ya şu kart çok güçlüymüş ya.
Yep, there's the Keeper of the Grove. It is going to take out the
O çok büyük
the
sıkıntı oldu.
both +2/+2 and the Death Rattle effect of that Whelp and kill it. All right, so Orange with that Oasis Surger, number 2, has taken a pretty sizable lead on this board. There's Witchwood Piper, though.
Yes.
And again, it's going to find something big.
Gelmese burada.
It finds a Cairn, and the Blatant Decoy, when it dies, just summons that Cairn.
Sure.
It's the lowest cost minion in his hand.
Yeah. Although, what is the lowest cost minion in Orange's hand?
I think it actually might be another Oasis Surger, or a floop of that.
Yes,
Which,
I believe it's just Floop.
Yeah, you missed the Death Rattle of that. Well, if it's Floop, it's Oasis Surger right now. So I guess no, it's 4. Never mind.
Step çektik ya, inanılmaz. Bir sürü kartım varken.
Well, we'll see. I mean, there are a lot of cheap minions in the deck, like the Druid of the Scythe. And it looks like it is Keeper of the Grove.
Oh, did he just play the Floop last turn? Was that actually what the Oasis Surger was?
Bir şeyler yapabiliriz.
I believe
wow, he drew King. What's that? Ferocis?
Faosis?
I don't know.
Faris.
Ferris.
Ferris.
Not Ferocis.
King
Ferris.
King Ferris.
Ferois? I don't know.
King Ferris's day off.
But that's. I mean, that actually. Oh no. Okay, he still had the Floop.
Yes.
It was the Grove. This gives it a 7-drop, 2 4-drops. Whoa.
Some
Okay.
big stuff. And then he gets to do it again because the Floop.
Wow, he can floop the King Ferois, whatever that is.
Ferris.
Oof, that is brutal.
Prep Fan? If he saps, I mean, if he preps, he gets to sap and then play Cairn Bloodhoof.
Well, he can just sap Cairn Bloodhoof anway without the prep.
Yeah, just I guess to draw a card in case it changes the play. Oh no,
Well, you can't prep fan anymore. Yeah, you can't prep fan for free.
You're right.
There's a big impact on that Fan of Knives.
Old habits die hard.
Oof, this is pretty brutal. He can. Okay, he is going to sap. Then looks like he's prep fanning now.
Well, because you can summon it through the 4/4, pulling it out.
Right. So if he trades into this, gets the Cairn for free, but he's still just in a really rough spot.
Right.
That
also pulls a taunt minion.
Oh, just put it back out. Oh no.
What?
Oh,
what?
no. Oh, no.
That was not supposed to be the way it worked at all.
Brutal.
Whoa, wait.
Dear.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was one of those.
Oh,
Very much
no.
oops.
He's just dead on board. Oh, gosh. Oh, look away. Oh, block the children's eyes. Not like this.
Oh, I'm sensing a theme from the League of Evil here. Their diabolical plans just seem to be,
What is happening?
be cracking under pressure.
I need better lackeys here. Sign up, please.
Sign up today for the League of Evil.
I need you to join the League of Evil because these guys are not cutting it. What is happening?
What is happening is that we are seeing good triumph over evil because good is resilient in times that are tough, and evil, they have this nefarious plan that seems to be coming together, but it all just crumbles under pressure.
Get him out of here. I'm upset.
Well, maybe you could just snap your fingers. Oh wait, you just keep dropping all of your rings, so your infinity glove is not really functional. Didn't work.
Don't make me snap at you, Kibler. Let's go to the next game, Yuko versus Kripp. I have faith in Kripp. At least I have one loyal henchman at my disposal. He's gonna.
Ooh, he's got a Colossus in the play. Yep. Oh my.
Does he though?
Well.
Oh, okay. I thought there was gonna be some big removal.
I mean,
it's still a 10-10.
It's true.
Second swipe.
How did he get this hand? I guess he's just playing Tesdey.
He's playing, yeah. So what did that come off of?
Gotta be.
I don't know. Maybe like.
Reborn. Oh, that came off of a Pharaoh cat. Oh. That is a high value minion from a Pharaoh cat.
Yeah. Henchman burglar. More burgling.
All right.
No secrets. So I guess.
Flark's Boomzuka, do it.
What would he pull that would be good?
Not really much of anything.
Right. I guess Inferno might be his best. He can't even draw a secret from his deck. These are quite useless cards here.
Flark's, I guess, but if it picks the big minions, it just...
Well, not useless. Flark's Boomzuka would be a way for him to win back tempo in case he needs a Hail
he falls
Mary.
behind. I mean,
I guess I'll take Flark.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best choice here, even though it is a little bit awkward. He can beast within the cat for +1/+1. Boom.
Then the cat is for
meow.
Well, you know, I'm really liking the use of, you know, the immune weapon here from Kripp, just being able to slowly climb more and more ahead of the board.
Oasis Surger, we have seen that do a lot of work, and it can really dominate the board right now. There's also, could even just play Nourish, drawing 3 cards, restoring 2 mana crystals, to then also play a Hidden Oasis.
Right.
To get a, go back to full life and get a 6/6 taunt. And just find some more things to do next turn as well.
And perhaps that's why Kripp was like picking up things like the Flark's Boomzuka, because he kind of anticipates he doesn't have any more development onto the board, so he might be playing reactive until he draws more impactful cards like Tess or Countess Ashmore to refill his hand.
There is the risk that if he does Flark's Boomzuka reactively, that he hits his big cards and does not have them to actually use for the rest of the game here, though.
Right.
If he hits, say, Tess and Togwaggle, it's like there goes a lot of your deck's power. He does have a Hagatha scheme, though, so a lot of tools. All right, there's a Mugger. Flark's Boomzuka is also scary if you play it and then you play Tess later and you just lose, you just thin out your entire deck.
Agreed. He doesn't have to use his AoE, he can just use Earthshock. But first, the Bazaar Mugger.
Daring Fire Eater, that is garbage.
That's definitely not what he was looking for.
No, not at all.
Kripp's got like some really amazing cards from other classes, like Hagatha Scheme, and he's got some really junk stuff.
Blade Flare is not bad when you have a hero power that gives you a. I guess that's actually just straight up in his deck. So that's actually a pretty cool choice from Kripp because it's going to be a 3 damage AOE, which is something that is very useful for
understand that, right? This rogue
for
deck
Rogue.
is insane if I can win this deck this game.
Yuko has the opportunity to use that Nourish now that his hand's feeling a little bit more awkward, but he still has the mana to play one of any of these cards.
Quest is 1 turn
Yeah, we're
early.
gonna see the Nourish come down. Looks like. Yeah, the Assyrian tier with Nourish is so powerful. Draw 3, effectively draw 3 for 4 mana, and it even ramps you. He's gonna go ahead and bees. All right. He wants to play maximum tempo here. Hidden Oasis 6/6 and
heal
full life
for basically full
But
life.
Kripp does have the clear. He can use his weapon to attack the 6/6, taking no damage thanks to the immune, and then Blade Flare the rest away, and even follow that up with Evil Miscreant.
Seems good to me.
And he still has a Hagatha scheme for 9 in his hand as well.
Does he want to flirt? I guess he does have two other forms of AoE in the form of Flark's Boomzooka and Hagatha Scheme. No need to be super greedy here.
All right. Well,
Titanic Lackey. That's the new Lackey we're talking about.
Yeah, can Witchy Lackey here, and then possibly even Titanic it if he wants to make it big.
+1 attack. All right.
Please.
I would say the average 4-cost
Never lucky.
minion is not nearly as good as you might think it is.
Dude.
On average, I think 3-mana minions might even be better than 4-mana minions. Kripp, of course, kind of chuckling because he's very much used to this kind of shenanigans. Drew the Claw picked up. So Yuko has double 5s here available to him. Also with Nourish, draws cards and puts anything else in play.
All right, he's going to go ahead and finally fire off the Nourish here, looks like.
Scenarios, here we go.
Boom.
Oh, it's Nourish. Interesting.
What does he find? Oh, only 4 cards left in Yuko's deck here, though.
Okay, so
actually could leave Kripp in on a plan with his removal to just run Yuko totally out of resources.
Exactly.
There's scenarios.
I don't know how Yuko's drawn so many more cards than Kripp. Kripp has like almost half his deck left.
This is kind of crazy.
It's pretty strong.
You typically do not see Rogue winning fatigue-style games, but with this this quest, the hero power, and specifically the significant removal selection that Kripp has been offered.
Right.
What I need to do here. Very few cards.
Yeah, we were talking about how is Kripp in trouble because he got this Flark's Boomzooka and he's gonna end up fatiguing out. No,
that might be a saving
grace. He's not
grace.
the one who's in trouble with that.
Doesn't have to use his AoE this turn. Ziliax can help him a little bit here. In fact, Ziliax can help him gain a little bit more life too with Titanic Lackey, giving it plus health, so it makes it difficult for Yuko to chew through.
Nah, there's going to be Scenarios. Scenarios is a bigger problem.
Kripp going for that Ziliax play, trying to take down Yuko. We got word that Japanese players are 10-3 in this event. And, Japan's kind of been on the come up for competitive play for about a year and a half, 2 years now. They've always had kind of some one-off players make it deep, but generally speaking, they are very strong right now. Highlighted, of course, with Machamp or Alutimu's performance in Hearthstone Grandmaster Season 1.
Yeah, this Questro deck does seem quite powerful that Yuko is piloting here. But this specific selection of cards that Kripp has seemed to be able to find has answered just everything that you'll be able to play here. So I'm curious what's left in the deck. I don't think we've seen Cenarius yet, which is one of the big swing cards out of this deck once it completes the quest. We've heard Kripp saying, okay, Cenarius, Cenarius, Cenarius. I don't know if we've seen Floop yet, because Cenarius Floop is one of the really powerful things too.
I think we did see Floop because it was the.
I thought that was that was an Oranges game.
Yeah, that was an Oranges game. You're right. Yuko
for no one
needs to fight back for the boards. Siamat, one of the best cards to do that. Divine Shield and Rush seems to be what most people pick these days. And Kripp, with the immunity on his weapon, is really starting to have some good use of it.
That was actually sort of an interesting trade because typically, I like the trade. I like the trade that we saw just there. Ooh. Okay, that actually did set up well.
Oh, wow. All right. So Kripp finally getting some good fortune with that. And also, he pulled some of his less impactful cards.
Right. Yeah, he still has Test available, still has Countess Ashmore, Siamet, Togwaggle, a lot of powerful stuff. I think he's holding on to this Titanic Lackey specifically because of the possibility of a Togwaggle draw.
Yep. And then the Jar Dealer is a pretty clever way for Kripp to try to finish this quest. Trying to get other 1-mana minions from different classes and get that quest online as soon as possible. Because, as we can see, the rogue weapon is really valuable.
Yeah.
When you get the quest done, it's just, does it take too long to get done? In the first game, it absolutely was too slow.
Right. All right, and innervating out the Druid of the Claw. All right, getcha.
Big
this
plays.
Is 7 to the face.
SI7. So I guess trade first, see what 1-drop he gets. If you've played, what is it? You deal 2 damage.
Yeah, it's if you play 2 spells this turn.
2 spells,
deal 2
that's right.
damage.
I
So
thought it was 2 minions. But.
he hasn't played any cards yet. So he could play the Warbringer and SI, the 6/5 attack with a weapon. Does leave 7 left in the board. He would take no damage, of course, because the blade from the quest does leave you immune when you are attacking.
I think there might be Cenarius.
Yeah, you see, he's still thinking, okay, Cenarius is the reason he wants to hold on to Haggith the scheme if he can.
Innervate is main decked, so there's probably another Innervate.
He still has freedom to wait just a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's not threatened with immediate death.
Right.
The one thing to consider is, if Kripp does decide to hold on to the Haggith scheme, is he forced to use it next turn anyway, even if there is no Cenarius?
Right.
Yeah, just gonna pull the trigger on it. Get the Warbringer out there and re-blade up. And Yuko almost out of cards. Just 1 card left after this.
Tab, every single draw in my deck is pretty good.
Yeah, all of Kripp's most expensive cards are at the bottom of his deck, which is maybe why I was thinking utilizing Titanic Lackey, because it's less likely you're going to draw Heistbearer and Togwaggle versus it's very likely your opponent's going to play Cenarius in the next couple turns, and you need the Haggith scheme. But it's kind of like what you said. If Yuko senses that, like he's probably holding some big card, he can just not play Cenarius and force him to do it anyways, and Kripp lost life while waiting.
Right. Ziliax alongside Druid of the Scythe.
I see, okay.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay, well.
That's a pretty important
This could be a
draw.
full clear, yeah. The Titanic Lackey, both SIs and the weapon, clears off this entire board from Yuko here.
Yep, and no life gain from it because Ziliax did not trade into anything.
And Yuko's drawing the last card,
which should be Cenarius.
Which, if there is Cenarius in the deck, which should probably be in the deck.
I'd be very surprised if it wasn't, but maybe Yuko took it out because he felt like his deck was too slow.
Could be. Oh,
Cenarius.
Innervate into. No, that's 8 mana.
No, that's 8 mana. And
that's
it.
Concession. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
Kripp was playing around a card that he thought his opponent might have, but Yuko, you get the choice of changing your decks between rounds.
Hey, look, you got the Hearthstone mount.
Nice. And I think in his mind, maybe he felt like his deck was too slow and he needed something a little faster.
All right. Well, speaking of the speed of play, we have only 1 match left, which is Ali Straza right now fighting for the League of Explorers. And this is still.
Well, he's going up. She's going up against the fearsome Japanese player Algiru, and Japan has been doing very well, 10-4. Based off of what happened the previous game. But Ali, she's been winning on stream every time we tuned into her. So let's see if her big mage plays can come back. She has King Ferris.
Yep.
She could summon a giant board of stuff. And I think that's what she's entertaining.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 6-drop, 2, 3, or 6-drop and 3 3-drops here.
Sounds good to me.
That's a big play. Big play here. King Ferris. Boom. Okay.
Alarmobot?
That Alarmobot is a little weird.
Could pull out like the Doomsayer.
Really, we're.
Oh man. If it pulls out the Doomsayer and then your opponent just passes. You just lost everything.
Well,
All right.
she does have Conjure's Calling.
Oh,
so
wait.
Calling her
Is the big combo of death about to happen?
Oh, my.
Oh, the Shutterwalk guarantees another double life drinker.
1-cost Shutterwalk from Geppetto Joybuzz.
Wait, what year is this?
Wow, he got a 1-mana Shutterwalk.
Shutterwalk Shaman in 2019?
Yeah, so this is 2 Shutterwalks. I think this is just gonna be lethal with those life drinkers, right?
Is it?
I think so. I think we saw the life drinker played first, which means we're going to see another one.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think this
another
is going to
life
There it
drinker.
is.
Wow. What's old is new again. Shutterwalk Shaman. Algiru finds a really big Battlecry Shaman to end the game throughout this big wall of minions. And Algiru getting the W for Japan and for the League of E.V.I.L.
That's evil to me. All right, well, we have just one final game, which is, in fact, Game 3 of the Kripp versus Yuko match we just came from.
That's right.
So we're going right back there.
It's the final game. It's the final chance.
Options are not very good.
Kripp, you can do it. Take my energy. Pharaoh Cat and Henge Clan Burglar, 2 cards that can help him also finish that quest. Prismatic Lens is
and
Interesting, because he has backstab as an option, so we could literally get like a free Test Greymane.
Or free Togwaggle.
Free
or
Togwaggle. That'd be pretty
anything.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, the average cost of cards in the deck is pretty low, or of spells. There's Clever Disguise, Backstab, then only there's actually 2 Blade Flurries and 2 Vendettas. So
Okay.
it's actually half and half as to whether it's cheap or expensive. So Yuko, you know, she is in a, I don't know exactly what her quest progress is. It's turn 4, so she
I
can
think
play.
it's probably 3. You tend, or it's 2.
2. So yeah, she can play the
she
Wardrood
did-
Lodi here.
Well, she did coin.
Especially if
Sometimes you like.
it could be,
quest
yeah, it
and
could be completed.
coin.
Yeah, it could be completed this turn then.
So I think it's.
So she can Lodi here, and then perhaps complete the quest. Yeah, there it is. And that's one of the key things when you are playing the Quest Druid that we've seen throughout this, as well as some of the theory crafting streams. Playing the coin to ensure that you actually hit your turn 5, which is your Oasis Surger turn, to get those 2 5/5 rushers.
Unleash the
is
beast.
big value.
And Kripp also got Clever Disguise.
Meow.
Bone Ray, Taunt and Reborn.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, just solid minions, which is something that Kripp was lacking. He had a lot of like combat spells, but not really like any substance to play last game. And I think that's a lot better than Beast Within.
Maybe I don't need to power play the quest next turn.
But I mean, we did see how the game played out last time was that Yuko, you know, had tons of powerful things going on, but didn't quite have enough to actually get over the edge against Kripp.
Yeah.
And you know, if Kripp is able to complete the quest again, which he can do with Clever Disguise, I believe, right now.
Yes.
That will allow him to start clearing off his board.
Ray of Frost and Icicle.
Combo.
The synergy.
Combo right there.
I mean, this is the deck when you don't get garbage options, so that's
I mean,
nice.
Kripp can just even collect the value off his weapon right now or develop for tempo. Of course, Kripp would choose the value plan. He's an arena player at heart.
Cards I got randomly.
I think
they're not one drops.
with the fact that there's so many rush minions in the Druid deck that also have the double choose ones, that it feels less likely that SI7 Agent will stick on the board.
Right.
SI.
All right, well, the Questing Explorer is a little awkward sometimes in the decks that do finish their quest very quickly. Here it's just a 2/3 for 2 because Yuko was able to finish her quest quite swiftly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the tempo 2/3 in this position, not the
It
worst.
just dies to the weapon. That's the thing.
Yeah, you're right.
It dies to the weapon for nothing.
It forces your opponent to hero power, I guess.
I mean, it does mean that, okay, you're attacking this instead of my face. It absorbs 3 damage. But that's up to Kripp whether that's how he wants to do it.
Yeah, like he can't play Unleash the Beast, for example, if he wants to re-equip his dagger. But, I mean, that's just a very minor thing. And that's partially what makes the Rogue Quest, in my opinion, pretty powerful. It's just that you could hold on to that weapon charge for so long. You don't have to swing with it that turn. Versus, like the Priest Hero power, even though it's very effective, you have to use it that turn. Otherwise, you don't get the value off of it.
Well, looks like a beast is going to get unleashed.
Yes.
Deal some jars.
I like it. If I'm Kripp, I just want to develop proactively. Druid is not the best class at responding to sizable boards like this.
So I'd rather get it out now.
In fact, for a long time, Quest Rogue with 4/4s and 5/5s was a counter to Druid.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's Oasis Surger is available as a possible answer. Gonna go with the Wrath first. This could be Wrath into Swipe Face.
Yeah.
Or Bees.
Bees is an opportunity.
Excuse me, it is
The
Bees.
fact that it's on the whole deck is a really big deal.
Another Bees. That's actually, the AoE, while Kripp does have 2 copies of Blade Flurry, another Bees here, or rather another Bees here, would actually give Yuko a pretty big board. And that's very scary if she has Tending Tauren, for instance, which is definitely in her deck. We saw that in the previous
Yes. I'm pretty sure if you play the Druid Quest, you type in the search bar, choose one, and you just put almost everything in there. If not, just straight up everything. Except Scenarius, apparently, which is one of the best cards to do it with.
Yeah, the lack of Scenarius in the deck does seem pretty confusing to me.
I almost am certain that it was an adaptation throughout the day, which is
It could be.
That it was in the hand a lot. You were dying a lot. You're like, okay, I need something faster, higher impact.
Right,
Jar
what's the
Dealer
vibes?
given to Flame Imp.
Yeah, that's not very good.
Quick, do the APM trick. Attack and then play Flame Imp simultaneously.
Yeah, during the attack,
You
I
play
will
Flame Imp.
take 3, get countered, get immuned.
I don't think the stack works like that, but looks like Kripp's gonna win back the board fairly easily. All right, Yuko is trying to fight back for the board. Yuko did win both of her rounds. Japan, being with that 10-4 score, Yuko was one of the undefeated Japanese players, so she's been killing it.
Right.
Well, there's the Siamat. Okay, that's choose all.
God, round 2, that such a good draw.
Oh, classic Kripp.
What's he saying?
I said round 2 of that. Oh, such a good draw.
I honestly don't think I can lose.
I mean, wait till you see what's in store.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that right here, these Oasis Surgers can take out the
just the
Bone Wraith. The B can take out the Reborn Bone Wraith. The other Oasis Surger can take out the what's its name?
Underbelly Fence.
Underbelly Fence, and then you could actually just go face. No, she's gonna bees it up. Okay, I'm a little confused by this. It feels like using one of these rush things and getting the damage into the face with a 4/6 that is undamaged and gets to protect your 5/3 from the dagger seems stronger to me.
Yep, I'm inclined to agree. I think that Yuko might be trying to set up a surprise double 5, but I'm a big fan of using mana efficiency, especially when you're a druid and you don't have any more access to the hero power, the traditional hero power that lets you attack for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Blink Fox, start things off, keep things loose. Oh, his own Druid of the Scythe.
He only has to choose one, though, not choose all. Could you choose Unleash the Beast to clear off the 5/5? There's also...
Yeah, or just SI7 Agent to clear off the 5/5. Seems a little bit...
We already used the weapon.
Oh, we already did do attack.
Yeah, he could Ray of Frost Icicle SI.
The best option
there you go.
is.
Then I think I like that better.
I'm thinking this, though.
Wait, Ray of Frost...
it doesn't actually. It's too much mana.
Oh, did he not have enough for... Oh. Well, he played 2 Ray of Frost, right?
He did.
So he didn't need to play 2 Ray of Frost. It could have been Ray of Frost, Icicle, SI. Oh, no, that's not enough damage, right?
It's
still
not
off by 1.
concern.
Yeah, it's only 4,
The
right?
only thing that could really happen is playing...
He wanted to get the card instead.
Yeah. That's fine. That makes sense.
Well, Yuko, with that hidden Oasis, going to restore the life to win back tempo. It's a very nice spot here. A lot of times people might think about using it to restore life if you've taken too much damage, but use it to cement your board position. Whew!
All right.
That is a lot of stuff.
Builds a big board. Now Yuko really is looking for Tending Tauren. I don't know that we saw the choose one expedition that could find Cenarius, even if it is not in her deck.
Kripp can actually kill us with the Underbelly Fence. Win back the board that way.
And still play out a cat if he wants, or dagger up.
He might prioritize daggering up because it's a little bit more,
But the Pharaoh Cat does get is on the board to possibly attack less turn, only for 1, but probably mana efficiency more important.
Yeah, and also a Pharaoh Cat is a battle cry.
It's true.
So you get the effect front loaded. If it was a Death Rattle minion, I'd probably consider playing Pharaoh Cat.
There is a Innervate draw, so that means there can be...
Trent and the Floop.
There's the Siamat. Every ability. I want it all.
Yep, and the way CMS also designed is that you're just getting one of everything.
Wait, did we not get every ability? What happened?
Oh.
Oh no, it's never mind. I was thinking of it as a double battle cry thing. It doesn't actually work that way.
Ah, it's shaman.
You choose right. I was mistaking which quests work that way.
Yeah, it's a pretty reasonable assumption, but in this case, oh man, a Splinter Graft.
Ooh, okay.
He can get a 10-10, or is it 8-8?
It's a 10-10.
10-10 version of Pharaoh Cat. That's funny.
The main concern now is the double.
Or 10-10 Ziliax, but it's never going to live.
It's okay.
Speaking of Ziliax, picked up for Yuko, trying to find her way into pressuring Kripp out of the game. You know, I'm kind of going back to what you were saying before, is that these Druid of the Claws have been kind of sitting in the hand for a long time.
I feel like you just need to be getting the damage in. You need to be getting your board that is resilient as resilient as possible to the 3 damage weapon.
Well, I mean, in this position, she can still go for a big play with trade into the 3-2, hidden Oasis to 5-5, innervate and drew the claw, and then just pressure. And she has a 5-5, a 4-6, and a 6-6.
I kind of like just Ziliak's cat get you for 9.
Okay.
You know, you prevent the heal from the Ziliaks, you get, you know, the 4-6 into play, you have a 4-6 and a 5-5, your opponent needs to kill.
It's fair too. I mean, this play is slightly less stats. I kind of want to just have the 4-6 to have more stats on the board.
Sure, this works out fine too. We get some value from the hidden Oasis, we get another big body on the board.
So this logic is that Yuko has guaranteed charge damage from the hand versus damage from Ziliax is a rush minions.
Right. Well, but if you play the Ziliax and the 4-6, you do get the 6-6 down and get some value from eating your opponent's minion.
That's true.
It's worth something at least. Ooh, Bog Slosher.
So you can.
It's kind of interesting.
Have the Mugger come back even stronger.
Yeah. Attack and Bog Slosh that, if you want.
Well, when you say it like that, I mean.
The Vendetta plus the weapon, and look at just how powerful the quest has been for Kripp. By the way, he's attacked into so many big minions.
Should have died like 3 times over.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're seeing Temple Berserker. It's the 1/2 reborn plus 2/1 damaged.
I think he wants to get back to Bog. Oh, sorry, the Mugger.
Cat? Yeah. It looks like what he's doing is the cat because he's looking to play this turn.
Okay, that's fair enough. I was thinking the Mugger because then he can still Vendetta and kill and then use the Mugger to kill the 5/5 on the following turn.
Right.
But you're right and says that he probably has enough value. He probably wants to just tempo his opponent out of the game now. Look at me, getting sucked into the value train with Kripp.
The only way I could lose is losing tempo.
All right, Yuko has been struggling a little bit to get any footing onto the board. Kristen doing a good job fighting back.
I mean, she can play double cat. Well, they're double cat bear, and attack for 13 to the face this turn. Because I really feel like she needs to be pressuring Kripp's life total. Because if she's not, you know, Kripp is just generating additional value from all the cards that are giving him cards rounds of the game, and you know she is, can fall back on stuff like Nourish to try and keep up. But you know, Kripp is just getting so much value from his hero power, just fighting through all these minions.
Kripp has better value that's outside of his deck from the hero power.
Right.
The hero power for the Druid gives you a lot of value, but it's kind of tied with whatever cards you have.
And we saw that last game. We saw Yuko get fatigued as a result of just how much Kripp was able to clear with his hero power and the cards he was generating. It looks like Yuko's just still going on this slower plan. She's going to go ahead and Nourish and play one of these. Ooh, okay, there's a Tending Tauren.
Still putting Kripp down to 14.
Got it.
Oh, there's a Blade Flurry, though. Hero power attack, Blade Flurry, you can full clear here easily.
And push 9. Is there a better play? I mean, it looks good. Is there a way we can optimize this even further?
Well, with Hero power Blade Flurry SI, maybe it doesn't even need to use a Blade Flurry here. Wait, you got a taunt? Not the rush?
I guess Kripp just wants to trade.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, that works.
Just playing pretty slow here, honestly, and saving his AoE. I guess because he knows that things like Tending Tauren and whatnot still exist.
Yeah, does want to have the ability to deal with that.
Right.
Tending Tauren specifically does line up perfectly with the Blade Flurry.
And this is more damage on the board that he'd be pushing because he was 9 versus 10. So I could see why Kripp would prioritize that. Seems reasonable.
Yeah. I feel like these questing explorers look like they're not very good in the Druid deck. Because you
finish it really quickly.
Frequently, that card's best on turn 2. You play your quest, then you play that, and you don't want to do that in the Druid deck. You finish your quest pretty quickly in this deck, and then it's a 2/3 that doesn't do anything very frequently later on.
Both heals are down, both rushers are down. There's one.
So then what can Yuko do from this position? She looks like she's a sitting duck at this point. Tending Tauren would just summon a reasonable sized board.
Split the Micromummy? No,
it's probably what I'm leaning towards, like a Questing Explorer, Tending Tauren. Like I just want to go big, but it does make you vulnerable to Blade Flurry.
Yeah, this looks like it's very rough for Yuko at this point. Kripp is down to 14, but has a very large board and the immune weapon to keep himself protected. kind of wonder.
Oh, that's excellent for me.
Yeah, we hear Kripp say that's excellent for me.
Right, playing a full costed defender, and you know, Kripp has a lot of options at his disposal right now.
I even kind of like just playing the bear and silencing the taunt and going face.
Oh my god.
All right.
0 cost Ashmore off that prismatic lens. Thanks to the
3/6/6?
backstab.
Yeah.
Boop. Doesn't actually get anything.
Oh wait, never mind. We drew Ziliax.
It
we
is still a
drew his
free
Death
6/6.
Rattles.
Huge
Yeah.
play.
I was pretty hyped for that, and nothing happened.
Ooh.
Shadow of Death?
Or Cheap Shot. Either of those are pretty interesting.
Shadow of Death sounds really cool.
I feel like Shadow Death, while it's the cool choice, I feel like Kripp just wants to dominate this board, and having Cheap Shot to be able to like have like extra clear feels pretty valuable to me.
My next play.
And just bump with the cat Kobold Lackey, push 4 more to face.
Which means
Yeah. Was the swipe used yet?
Which means I probably should not take damage on that.
I think that's something to just to
Sure.
think about whether or
Yep,
not
yep.
you should bump and trade.
Yeah, which way you want to do it.
I really want to play the other lackey.
And looks like based off this, he wants to. Oh,
Let's play
okay.
this
Temple Berserker instead.
All right.
Get enraged.
Keeping the Kobold Lackey, being more mana efficient. So now Yuko, she's staring at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14 damage, 17 with the dagger. Very scary territory. Obviously not death, but at Innervate Draw is one of the worst that she could pick up here.
All right, but this is a board that looks really juicy to Blade Flurry here.
Oh
or Siamat. I mean, what do we have here? We've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19 damage.
Think about, is there any crafty ways that we can utilize Splinter Graft here? I don't know if having a 10/10 Kobold Lackey is particularly impressive, but it is kind of cool.
I feel like Blade Flurry is just so good here.
It looks very
It's
juicy.
just so powerful. Yeah.
Ah, the classic, except Blade Flurry itself doesn't deal damage to your opposing heroes, but the Shadow of Death.
All right, we're gonna get 3 more free 6/6s. That's just like was free the first time. It'll be free the next 3 times as well.
I mean,
Yuko is in a really tough spot here.
Yuko can't even clear the Countess Ashmore, let alone the ones that'll come out for free with the Shadows of Death. And yes, you should fear evil.
And Floop with no
Didn't
minions.
get to do that.
Can silence
Yeah.
the cat.
I'm starting to think you're kind of on the money here. The Questing Explorer was not really the key, and that could have been other important cards like Cenarius that could have helped Yuko fight for the board a lot more effectively. And then the resource battle would have been closer. But that's going to do it. Kripp gets the win. And the League of E.V.I.L has triumphed in this best of 3. But what is the final standings? The Hearthstone Studios. I believe in my henchman,
I mean,
Mr. Kripparian.
I am. We just saw a few wins for the League of E.V.I.L on stream, so I'm. Even though we saw some pretty dramatic shifts in some previous matches, I'm a little nervous how my team is doing here.
I mean, I'm just so happy that Kripp won. He even has a villain name. His real name is Octavian Morrison,
I know.
which is quite possibly the most badass name of all time.
Doc Oct. You know, he's already a supervillain. Like.
That's right. It's written into his DNA, his lore. But yes, so for people who may have tuned in halfway and kind of were thinking we're playing exhibition matches, the players have been divided into 2 teams, the League of E.V.I.L and the League of Explorers. And you just saw the League of E.V.I.L with Kripparian taking that victory, but it's all about the big picture. How did the 10 other matches go one way or the other? So we're going to count them up. And of course, we have our predictions. I predicted Sonagi and you predicted Gunner. And so with that, let's go ahead with the reveal. Who is going to take round number 3? And it looks like, at first glance,
This does not look good for the good guys.
7 victories for the League of E.V.I.L.
Oh,
My man
no.
BoarControl, Algiru, Pledjat, Tio Yarston, Pathra, Kripp, and Snailarg getting the victories.
We did both fail in our predictions with our champions here. Gunner lost, Sonagi lost. But it does look like on this day, the League of E.V.I.L has eked out a narrow victory.
Yeah.
I think do we have the final standings to take a look at? There it is. Oof.
Let's go.
Brutal
League of
final
Evil.
round.
You guys can all keep your jobs. The plan is still in place. Well done. But you know, you did get more predictions correct than I did, Kibler.
That's true.
On the Choose Your Champion.
So I'm the superior team captain.
Yes. But you know what? It's a team game. Hearthstone is not played 1v1.
It's true. It's true.
It's played entirely on teams. But it's been a really fun day. It's been a really fun day. And, you know, of course, the prizes and the winners do end up getting some Corsair gear, Elgato streaming equipment, and Hearthstone swag.
And, yeah, you know, more importantly, the bragging rights. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this since we lost. The bragging rights of being...
Okay, I'll say it. We get bragging rights of how awesome we are. Go League of Evil. It's boring to be fun and goody two-shoes all the time, kid. Once in a while, you gotta bust out the inner bad boy. And with that, we do want to remind you guys that the Saviors of Uldum pre-order is still going on. We've mentioned a few times during the broadcast, but in case you haven't heard, 50 card packs for $50, 80 card packs for $80, plus a legendary skin with at least a Starseeker for the Druid class, as well as the card back.
Yeah. The set releases tomorrow, so you don't have to wait very long to bust open all those packs, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing tomorrow myself, because I am, I'm pretty jealous that they were all just playing with these today, because I want to play, and thankfully I don't have to wait too long.
I'm really happy. This victory means so much. And what it cost? 1,600 dust for Zephyrs. Man, you are really upset. I was going to ask you for final words. Give me some last thoughts here, Gilbert, to wrap up the show.
Evil may have won now, but good, we shall triumph in the end.
Yes, and Gilbert will be streaming tomorrow as the beginning of the campaign for good. It's been a really fun time. Make sure to check out playhearthstone.com for anything that you guys may have missed. And we want to give a big thank you to all the streamers and production crew that made this invitational possible. But for now, evil has triumphed and I, Rafam, have become victorious. Find out what happens more tomorrow when Saviors of Uldum releases. Until then, well played, and we'll see you in the tavern.